watching because we haven't gone live yet.
Well, but once you go live, when the show starts, there's no surprise anymore.
I doubt it was a surprise that Troy is coming.
Did you share it in the?
Asked me that. Links are all shared. Yep.
Did you share it on the Putting Over podcast?
I didn't because we determined last week that was going to be your job.
I don't know that we determined that, but okay.
Yeah, I feel like they only put that in there so they had an excuse to put the flame graphic in to put all the flashing shit that comes in between those two.
No.
Two parts of his Titantron.
They didn't though. When he debuted that theme, they did not do the fire on his entrance.
That's true.
So no, I think that they put it in there because so no one could hear the fucking silence from the crowd every time. They're like, well, goddamn, I can hear a bunch of silence out there. It's supposed to be applauding him.
Bear.
Bear. All right. I was listening to the New Blood Rising podcast, so Stone Cold Voice might come out tonight.
Fantastic.
Because they use it all the time on that show.
I don't think I've ever listened to that full thing.
Do any of you listen to Comedy Bang Bang?
Nope.
All right, never mind then.
No. I listen to fantasy football podcasts and wrestling podcasts and Celtics podcasts. That's about it.
All right. That's all right. I'm more than make up for you.
And I listen.
How many podcasts you got there?
Shitload.
I listen to one. There's one comedy one I listen to.
I am subscribed to 96 podcasts.
You got me beat.
I'll tell you once the library on my iTunes loads when it stops freezing.
Mm-hmm. That's not how many episodes I have. That's how many different podcasts I subscribe to.
Mm-hmm. That's 96. A lot of podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are seasonal or things that I will skip a bunch of episodes on if they're, like if it's horror movie. I listen to like a couple different ones that are like horror movie reviews. If it's movies I haven't watched, I'll just delete it. But yeah. I should probably go through them again because some of them haven't been going. Go ahead, sir.
How's the baby?
Good. Cries lots.
Sleeps when it's not crying.
Yeah, it's I love her, but she's kind of shitty right now. So
I still wish we had saved that for the show.
It is what it is. Yeah. It is what it is. It'll get better.
I subscribe to 113 podcasts.
Oh, I got to step my game up.
Well, to be fair, he only listens to like 3, so
that is true. I listen to all. I'm caught up on all of mine. There's a difference.
Yeah, nowhere close. 2012. I'm in February of 2012.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. So I have. I tuned Andy onto it, but there's a service now called Splice, which is a bunch of like Foley work and sound effects. Nice. It's pretty cheap. It's like $10 a month or something like that. So because I like to do a little bit of stuff to my, a little bit of editing to my stuff, and I plan to do a little bit more of that. But for Andy, it's a big fucking thing, obviously, because he's got the other thing. But
sure.
I want to start doing a couple of my stories, and if I can, edit my own for Andy's podcast, then that'll make it a little bit easier for him to throw it on there. So
that's so nice he is.
Yeah, well, I do what I can.
All right. Ready to go, everybody?
I think so. Let me make sure my shit's on the right microphones this time. Okay, yeah.
Why does it sound like shit?
It only took me an hour to figure that shit out. So,
it's done it to me too, though, and it pisses me off every time it does it.
Yeah, it almost always picks the right one, and that for some reason that day, it's why it didn't even occur to me to check it. But what do you do?
I have mine set to the Yeti.
Yet it's still Barry White.
Go, Mark.
It's almost. What's that?
I said, yet it still goes to Barry White.
Sometimes. Hey, I did buy this used, so. Plugged it somehow.
Somebody's ass.
And now it's Barry White because you touched it.
Yep.
Yep.
Episode 306 in 3, 2.
And now he's muted.
God damn it.
That's awful.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, when I unplug the thing, it jacks the recording volume all the way up to the top.
Whoa. Not cool. Them's my ears, son.
Sorry.
Thank God you're fucking leaving.
Right? Fuck me.
What a dick.
Right?
I do hope that you have scrolled down to the second page there, Jason, and saw what we're going to talk about after the game and after your news.
Oh boy, no. Oh yes, I saw that today.
It wasn't just him either. It was Omega and the Bucks were doing it as well.
I know.
I know. It's just them trolling, but it's funny
because they're attention whores. Actually, I fell into the hole of watching a bunch of Being the Elite videos this week.
I haven't got those yet.
They're pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. Cody's actually pretty funny in them.
All right. You guys ready?
For being a dick. Yes.
Okay.
Are you ready? I think that's the more pertinent question.
Are you ready?
Let's get ready to suck it.
For the thousands of talents and millions watching around the world. Let's get ready to suck it.
And if you're not down with sucking it, you can suck it.
I got 2 words for you. Bye, curious.
Buy a lot of things, and lingual isn't one of them.
I'm sorry, I'm too busy always kicking assholes' ass.
Always pounding ass.
I had that shit name. I went to school once, and that was it.
How long before they made you turn it inside out?
Lunch.
Wow, you did it that long?
I did the same thing with the one that was don't take this ass whipping personally. I was a big APA mark.
Nice. Very nice. All right.
That one I lasted like 2 periods though.
Well, so did Brie Bella.
Hello. I'm ready.
I've been ready. My finger's been on the button since Barry White showed up. Can we fucking go or what?
we had to get...
So we're live, but before we start recording, let's just go over this shit, Troy, because you witnessed this too. No fucking communication as to when we're starting, except soon-ish, right? Then fucking 8:30. Hey, links are up. Nobody gets here in like the first 3 minutes. Like, where are you guys? Fucking Bueller?
Yeah.
Fucking Bueller?
It was like 5 minutes, all right.
We get here. We're ready to fucking record. He goes Barry White, and now he's like, "Or is everybody fucking ready? We've been ready, motherfucker."
All right.
I never said fucking ready.
I'm ready.
Good start. Off to a good start. This we haven't started yet. We're off to a good start. All right. This is 306 in 3, 2, 1. Record. That would be an
I've
hour.
never let you get through one of these things, and I'm certainly not going to fucking start tonight. So, theme song!
Of course not. That would be an hour-long dick joke. It's episode 306 of The Rundown. My name is Adam. I'm your host. It is Wednesday, August 9th, 2017. And joining me this week, one last time, Jason's here.
You're going to be begging to come back when you see how awesome this show turns into. So, I wouldn't say one last time.
Troy is here.
That's the dude's back from...
Because I knew he had a thing.
Troy, on behalf of the new leadership of the Rundown, I would like to apologize to you for that just completely lackluster intro.
Should I just go now? Should I just go now?
Maybe. Might be for the better.
You two could just blow each other for an hour and a half and call the podcast.
We're going to do that anyways.
Yeah.
You're just delaying the inevitable.
Apparently so.
Uh-huh.
What's up, guys?
Yes, I am back from my hiatus.
What you
Yeah,
doing
that's
on
all I
the
got to
side,
say.
Tampa? Something, chat room, something, pants off, something.
Listen, you don't get to fucking tell me what to do anymore. You officially handed the show off to us now, so you don't get to make demands or orders around here
Then
anymore.
why did I do the starting bit?
I don't know, because you can't fucking help trying to put yourself over.
This is off the rails before we even had the conductor hop on board.
Yeah, you had to know that was going to happen. Anyway, for those of you joining us live on YouTube, and you really should be, because this is going to be a fun one, you can slide over to the right-hand side of your screen. You'll see a box. It says live chat. It is where Troy is currently hanging out. He's doing double duty, and he's doing double duty with my wife, and we'll get into that later. This is
is that who I'm talking to, or is that who I'm banging?
Yeah, well, this is typically where I tell you to take your pants off, but I'm going to encourage Troy to keep his on tonight because he's dealing with my wife in there.
Can't. Already have them off. Never put them on.
But you can slide into the conversation. It's as good as a DM, and join the show. We'll read your comments live and perhaps even comment on them. That's it. That's my whole pitch. Somebody say something.
And in honor of Adam, dun, 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 dun. Meat on the table, yeah, that's what you are. Paige got taken away in a police car.
Speaking of the Ryback, he's going to be...
That's never a good segue.
He's going to be going one-on-one with our buddy from the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing, the Kingpin, Brian Malonis, in a couple of weeks.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say Mike Crockett.
No. But you know how Crockett is. He'll probably find his way onto the show because it's a big deal.
It's too bad this we didn't have a sponsor for this show. Anyways, so
you're gonna look like an asshole when the episode comes out. You know that?
Well, you just edit that out.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
So
for those of you who haven't kept up with the rundown on Facebook, allow us to fill you in on why this chaos and frivolity has ensued already this early in the show. This past week, the host, the founder, the godfather of the rundown himself, Adam, made an announcement, and the big news is that Troy is back, and we're going to take over the show.
Woo! Basically. That's all you really need to know if you don't follow on Facebook. But if you're in charge, you might just fucking go for it, man. What do you want to talk about?
No, you're not getting off the hook. You still got one left. You get to host the shit.
Goddamn mind, would you?
No. You get to host. You don't get to have any authority or say over what we do.
This is like a Mick Foley retirement for him, though. He'll be back in like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I fully expect it. He's going full Terry Funk on us.
All right.
I'm not booked, Terry.
I don't even have a trampoline.
That guy died recently.
Oh, that's true, isn't it?
I have no idea who we're talking about.
His name is Dennis Stamp. You need to watch Beyond the Mat.
It's free on YouTube.
There you go.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. It's behind. You never saw Beyond the Mat? Really?
No.
Oh wow. Yeah. No, it's free on YouTube. Go watch it.
So where should we begin?
I'll go watch it then.
Not now, because it would make the show really weird. But yeah, see,
we begin with
Troy reading the
we should
chat.
Probably begin with it happens. It happens. We could probably begin with meat on the table. Yeah, that's what you are. Bella got fucked up by an acoustic guitar.
You're about 3 weeks late for that one, pal.
I had it written a while ago.
So what do we think of the Miz TV segment on Raw with Brock Lesnar and the Miz Taraj standing in for the participants in the Fatal 4-Way?
I like the fact that the Miz and Curtis Axel are dressed really nice, and Bo Dallas is dressed like his mother dressed him.
At least he's not dressed like Lieutenant Dan anymore.
Yes, he is. He is coming up. He is improving.
Yeah,
Give him credit for that.
I like the Mr. Raj. I think that they're really interesting. It sucks that they're just kind of getting fed to different storylines at this point and don't really have their own storyline. But you know, we'll see, because there's 3 of them, and there's 3 guys that everyone wants to fucking reunite, even though they've been broken up longer than they ever existed. So, you know, maybe that'll happen eventually.
But you know,
just for them to lose. But
the thing with that is that you got to give the Miz credit, because he's already made these guys way more interesting. You look at Damian Sandow before the Miz and after the Miz, and he wasn't nearly as interesting. So the Miz's personality is capable of taking these guys from almost virtual obscurity in terms of how they're being used and making the crowd actually care about them. So that speaks volumes to his star power.
Yeah.
As for this particular segment, I thought it was kind of cool. I didn't expect, obviously, we didn't know Lesnar was showing up. He wasn't advertised. There was no kind of, and I always like when I can be a little bit surprised. So I appreciated that. I thought Heyman was great, but shocker, Heyman's always great on the microphone. Overall, I didn't have a problem with it. My only thing was they sort of started to build the Jason Jordan Miz thing again, and then just kind of dropped it the rest of the show. So I don't know.
Yeah, they haven't announced that match for SummerSlam. There's been things going around that it'll actually happen the night after SummerSlam for some reason. Because why have a title match on a pay-per-view? But it did. This whole segment did get us the debut of Jean-Pierre Goulet. So credit to Brock Lesnar for that.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, you know, my only issue with it again is, you know, having Brock take out 3 guys. 3 guys who, one of which is a former world champion. You know, the other 2 are what they are. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, there's nothing kind of as a pushback to Brock right now, other than the 3 guys he's facing. So it would have been nice to see at least maybe Miz get a little offense on him before getting just F5'd out of his shoes again. But
I also don't like the fact that despite being on the same show, we're now looking at 2 weeks in a row where Brock's had 0 interaction with the guys he's going to actually be wrestling at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Right. Very true.
Like, that's not very good storytelling.
No. And we didn't. But, you know, I mean, that was the other thing too. It's just like, oh, well, I'm gonna tell a story. So first of all, Paul Heyman cracking up over the whole role playing line was golden. And then for him to just be like, oh, you're gonna stand in for this guy, you're gonna stand in for this. It's like, well, they're right in the back, dude. Like, you don't need stand-ins for him. Just call those guys out here.
Yeah, right. Well, Samoa Joe wasn't there. He was hiding in the crowd.
Oh yes, all right. Well, you could have at least brought the bog dog out.
Yeah, in his gear. I thought the last man standing match was pretty good though, for what it was.
Yeah, I enjoyed the match, and a couple of the spots in there were particularly great, including Strowman heaving a fucking chair like it was nothing. Right off the head of range.
I may have watched that about 6 times in a row.
Well, what you probably didn't watch, though, is that was pretty much a direct ripoff of something that occurred in the G1 earlier. Earlier this is it this week or the week before? I don't know, recently. One of the matches, they did the exact same spot, and the guy sold it like he was dead. So
I'm not too worried about that kind of stuff. People steal people borrow from other people. It's not a big deal. And, you know, the number of people that watched that and this, right, you know, are in the Venn diagram of things aren't really that big of a deal. So,
I mean, I thought that Seth Rollins got away with stealing Kenny Omega's finishing move. So no, I'm just kidding.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I'm just trying to get Troy going already on his first night back.
Can you believe they gave that away on free TV?
Oh, fuck off! you want to turn this into a one-man show? That's how you're going to turn it into a one-man show. Yeah, it was a good match. Having Joe interfere, or then having Braun pick up the win, makes Braun look strong because Joe was able to take out both of them, but only Braun was able to get back up. And anytime that Roman loses, at least it starts to build that he's not as unbeatable as he was before, which can build a little simpy for him. So,
yeah, the way they did it, that spear Braun took was pretty nasty too. I like that spot. So I thought everything was done really well. Joe came out of nowhere to the point where you were actually surprised, even though you kind of figured he was coming at some point. But no, I thought the whole thing was put together really well.
Yeah, I love the hiding in the crowd thing because again, I like when they do something that you don't expect, and I don't think anybody expected Joe to come from the crowd at that moment. So,
But I think one of the bigger stories to come out of this week's Monday Night Raw is that it's boss time.
Oh God, I hate Michael Cole. I want him to be gone. You often forget that he's been with the company for like 25 years at this point. And has never gotten any better than he is when he first showed up with his bleach blonde tips.
Used to have a really fucking bad goatee.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. He did get better, but he's to that point now where he is the Vince puppet.
Yeah,
where, it's just Vince being the ventriloquist dummy saying things of it. It's boss time.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going to take a little bit of a different position on you on that one, because if you go back and watch like the UK tournament when Vince wasn't in his ear and Triple H was running the show, I thought it was some of Michael Cole's best work. And same thing with when they did the Beast in the East special. So when Vince isn't in his ear and Michael Cole's allowed to just kind of be Michael Cole and do his thing, I think he's much, much better.
I feel like we've heard this exact same thing about somebody else. I can't figure out who it was.
If you're talking about Morrow, he's still dropping the pop culture references on NXT. So
yes, he is. Yes,
he
is.
Block Party.
Hashtag Twitter Troglodyte. Block Party.
Have you gotten the rundown page blocked by Morrow yet?
Not yet, but I could try. Yes, follow us on Twitter to see if follow us on Twitter at Rundown Podcast to see if Troy gets the Twitter account banned now that he's in charge of it.
I did one tweet so far. I'm not going full time traveling at him because we need that to promote the show. So, but yeah, it's like I said, it's one of those things. Cole, like I said, is just the ventriloquist dummy at this point. But the bigger thing, obviously, is the fact that Bayley stumbled her way through a terrible promo to set up the fact that her shoulder is separated, and she'll be missing SummerSlam.
Yeah, you get a little, something. You get a cough button, buddy.
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to point out what absolute horse shit that is. But
yeah. So this a booking decision that they're just like that they second guessed after the fact, and we're like, no, we can't do this.
Oh shit, we regret
because nobody likes. Yeah, we regret this because nobody likes Bayley. She gets fucking booed mercilessly.
See, I feel like this was the direction all along. I feel like this is the long-term storytelling. So Bayley earns the shot by beating Sasha. Bayley gets injured. Sasha ends up with the shot. Sasha ends up winning the title. Sasha refuses to give Bayley a shot. Sasha turns on Bayley, and we're off to the races. I
don't. This is what I don't want though, because one, Bayley's not sympathetic at this point. Everyone's kind of over her character. I want Bayley to turn on Sasha and go heel.
See, but
because we haven't seen what Bayley can do as a heel yet. We know what Sasha can do. She can be great, but I want to see what Bayley can do as a heel.
I think Bayley only. I think the Bayley character without a complete full-on makeover only works as a face. But I think in terms of the sympathy, that's part of what they're doing. Somebody, her best friend turning her and stabbing her in the back is probably their attempt to build that sympathy.
Yeah, I could see that. Either way, this set up two different triple threat matches where we had Sasha Banks win one of them and Nia Jax win the other one. So we're right back to square one again with these two fighting for the number one contendership again.
Yeah, and which also puts us 1 week out from the pay-per-view without knowing who the women's champion. So there's your match build for you. It'll be 6 days.
Well, we look over at SmackDown and we know what that match is going to be, and we also know it's going to suck. So what's one?
Not at least, but
you know.
but I'd rather have at least they did some development to the story this week and in the past couple weeks. So you can dislike the match, but the point is, what makes this product successful is telling stories and putting over angles. And if you don't know what the angle is until a week before the fucking match, you can't do that. And then there's no heat for the match. And then they sit there and wonder why their fucking stagehands are staring at pictures of hands on their monitor instead of watching the fucking show, because the show's not even fucking interesting for the people who work there.
Well, you know, I mean, he probably wanted to see if his palms were getting hairy. I don't know. You know, it's like, goddamn, there's a lot of good looking women around here.
As long as the Vince spot cam doesn't catch them, they're okay.
That's so fucking weird.
Actually,
what a weird fucking company we cover.
Actually, that's not an uncommon thing from what I hear, is that they have different spy cams. Vince has one, the announcers have another. Basically, it's done for verbal cues. So if the Vince tells the announcers something, the announcers can kind of nod and Vince can see that they're acknowledging it, because they obviously can't say anything without turning their mics off. So they have them in various different spots throughout the building. It just happens to be that the Vince one happened to get caught on that picture, but it's not, when you think about it, it actually does make some sense when you get the purpose behind it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's one of those things where, you know, as long as he's still alive, this is what we're going to get from Vince. And we're going to continue to get, you know, the women being booked like this, where, hey, we tried it for a little bit, but fuck it. Let's go back to this crazy shit where we don't know who's going to be in what match leading into the pay-per-view. One of our big three.
I don't know you guys. I thought Emma had a chance there.
Well, she was the most over person in the match. But then again, it was Bizarro World, so who knows?
Right.
The problem I have with Bailey, and Adam, you can vouch for this, I said this before she even came up, she's not a good promo. And that character needs to be a good promo and convey the underdog, fangirl sort of aspect of it. And I sort of feel like they just never developed that with her.
No, and she let the booze get to her this week, and you
clearly
you just can't do that.
Yeah. No, she was
I think honestly, she's not used to the giant crowds and has just never gotten used to them at this point. Because in pre-tape, she's good. You know, she sounds more natural. I mean, more natural, not natural, but more natural than normal. But yeah, I mean, she has a certain cadence about her that makes her sound kind of meek and kind of unassuming. So when they're trying to write her into stuff like, I'm going to take Alexa Bliss and be hardcore about it, I'm going to go extreme on her and I'm going to win the title. Like it doesn't convey any kind of where you're like, okay, I think this person can win. You're just like, she doesn't even think she can win.
Yeah. And I heard an interesting, comment today, and it hadn't really occurred to me until I heard this, but somebody, I forget where I heard it, but they basically made a comment to the extent of, you sit there and you wonder and you watch and you think every character pretty much sounds the same and every story pretty much sounds the same. And then you realize that everything is being approved and written and conceived by one person. Vince is the one that decides what goes on air and tweaks everything and turns everything and changes everything. So it's one voice behind every story and everything is starting to seem the same.
And that's why a lot of people, you know, like independent wrestling more, because often that is, yes, it's the booker, but it's also the talent that's telling the stories, and it's the talent that are doing different things as well. So you do have a lot of different voices, and you typically don't have a booker who's so up their own ass that they're not going to listen to everybody else around them. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the problem with Vince, is he's so up his own fucking ass that these writers who often get a bad fucking rap, you know, these writers are giving him a bunch of really good ideas, and he's picking the not so good ideas and throwing out the rest of them because, oh, we can't book Zack Ryder be an Intercontinental Champion because we didn't make him. You know, the guy got over on his own, so fuck him. Now we're gonna throw him in off of a fucking side of the stage, you know. So yeah, I mean that's always going to be the issue, is the fact that if this was more of a collaborative effort, which is like it's what it's supposed to be, then we'd be seeing something different. But instead, yeah, like you said, everything is filtered through one guy who is making the show to entertain himself and not entertain the fans.
And just to catch up on the side a little bit, we have co-ghost Sean, and he said, what did he say? He said, it might help if they had any female writers in positions of power. Call me crazy. And I disagree with that, because down in NXT, they don't have female writers in positions of power, and they write the women very well. You look up at the main roster, they have Sarah Del Rey agenting a lot of those matches. They have Sarah Stock, former Sarita in TNA, who's, I believe, works on the production crew. So they have females involved in the women's angles and women's spots and administering them. It's just all the storylines go through one person. So I don't know. I don't think adding more women is going to make it any better. I'm all for adding women, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that's the issue here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what the issue is? The issue is the fucking 80-year-old guy who doesn't think that anybody wants to watch women wrestle.
No, of course not.
And continues to think that that people just want to see women go out there and fucking flash their titties and their ass and their fucking chocolate titties and shit like that, and not actually tell a compelling story, which is exactly why everyone's gimmick is just crazy bitch who, you know, is fucking bipolar. And once you have that go out of the way, then you can start having like Stephanie and Triple H, two people damn about women's wrestling, to the point that they have brought on all of these excellent workers, and they're trying to break through on this stuff. But again, the problem is it's fucking Vince sitting there, and it's because you know Triple H is going, hey, let's book these two guys like this, and Vince is going, oh, that'll never work, Bob. That won't work. No, put them in a fucking
flag match. Get a flag match.
Six woman tag match.
Hey Vince, I don't know if you've heard the reactions that Ty Dillinger's getting when he comes out, but that guy's pretty over. We might want to start doing something with him. Fuck no. Look at Jinder. He's vascular. Fuck yeah, and that's exactly the issue when it comes down to it. It's just, and by the way, do we need to take bets and guesses on who decided to include the anal probe line in the Fashion Police gimmick this week?
That might be Dango.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure that was Vince.
Let's not put it past Johnny Curtis. This is a guy who definitely would say that line. But yeah, it was most likely.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's the same guy that decided to put on a fake hospital gown and pull shit out of a plastic prosthesis ass to make fun of Jim Ross at some point.
What?
I guess he's the guy that did the anal probe joke. I'm just gonna throw that out there. All right.
That wasn't to say I didn't laugh. I did.
Now we talked.
I think I laughed at Tyler Breeze's reaction. What? Nothing. Never mind.
Wardrobes.
I don't. Well, since we're talking about it, let's just run with that. Was anyone else really let down by just Fandango showed up and it was aliens? Like we sat here and who is responsible for this? Who's been doing this? Who what's the angle? Are we gonna get fucking Lumberjake and Cousin Larry? Are we gonna what the fuck are we gonna get out of this? Like what's with the maple syrup and the lot? Like what's with the rose and the fucking nothing.
Nothing.
Just
nothing.
They had no fucking direction to it.
We're not done with this yet. Obviously, they don't even know who it's eventually going to be. This is going to be another one of those situations like the fucking Hornswoggle thing, where it's just a last minute decision on who it's going to be, and it doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. So yeah, once this starts to run its course, then they're going to be like, oh, it was it was a fucking AOP. You're like, well, that doesn't make sense because they were kind of busy during a lot of this stuff. No, doesn't matter. But
there were a lot of blue flowers on the board. So I don't know if there's anything we can track that back to, but
it's not Carlito as much as I want it to be. And considering that the pairings that we got on the house show circuit, where Eric Rowan and Aiden English were teaming up, and Luke Harper and Sin Cara were teaming up, I'm going to guess that it's not going to be them two getting back together. So who fucking knows? But what we do know is that we got a sweet Arn and Tully Anderson reference, which I popped for. Once he's like, hey, whoever comes to the door, you beat Tully the horse. And Arn Anderson comes through. I was like, oh, I get this reference. I get it. And then he went so far, it's just like, you beat up Tully the horse? Well, damn right I beat up Tully.
You should have named him Arn.
Yeah.
I also appreciated the poster on the bulletin board that said Elephant Man and was a picture of John Cena and the elephant from the Pistachios commercials.
That's always been the best thing about those segments is the inside jokes that are on the back while they're.
Yes, that's definitely the best part of that. My wife says, Troy, you nailed it, and that must have been what you guys were doing in the chat room earlier.
I guess so. I don't know what that's in reference to, but okay.
And then
probably the Vince thing.
And then she also suggests that you take some Gas X. I believe she was referring to the booking of the women and why they're booked the way they are.
That could be.
Now,
Troy,
since we've talked,
Troy can't take Gas X. Troy belching is an integral part of this show.
Now, before we go too far down the road of what happened this week, we started our very brief move to Wednesday nights last week. And in that, because as a result of that, we did not have access to last week's episode of NXT at the time. So I just wanted to touch, because I thought last week was an excellent episode of NXT.
Yes, 100%.
One of the more recent, we've seen very few of these. No, it wasn't. We've seen very few of these really excellent episodes of NXT like we used to get back in the day, and I thought this was really one of them. Starting with the Ember Moon and Asuka promo, I thought was tremendous. I loved the little touch of both women being in street clothes. I always enjoy that. I think the women are done a great service when they're allowed to come out in their street clothes, and you don't have to suspend disbelief that even though they don't have a match, they're just hanging around in their wrestling gear. I like that. I'm always a fan of that. And then the move when Ember Moon hits the Eclipse out of nowhere, I popped for that. I thought the whole thing was great, including just the little touch of Asuka trying to throw her out of the ring the same way she did when she injured her shoulder. So I thought that was a very well done segment.
Yeah, and I like the touch that they gave with her not taking the belt and the reasoning that they gave for it, about her being supposedly being a curse or something, and her going, "No, I'm going to earn this. I will hold that belt when I earn that belt." But yeah, the whole thing was beautiful.
Allow me to put over another podcast real quickly.
We don't do that on the show.
That's right. Speaking of NXT, so the Street Profits are a really odd kind of Snapchat thingy where it's kind of like New Age crime time. So the guys over at What's Wrong with Wrestling, who have been featured numerous times over the Edge and Christian podcast, one of the guys that covers the NXT show over there proceeded to try to find the Street Profits on Snapchat. Yeah, that didn't exist. So last week he proceeded to create the Snapchat Street Profits, and now has full control over the thing that now WWE is freely promoting because they put up on the side there Street Profits. So yeah, good job WWE for not getting the fucking gimmick that you're doing.
I meant to try and scan the snap code when it came up on the screen, but I didn't get my phone up in time.
Because it's not real.
And I didn't want to actually, rewind and actually try to do it. But that's great. That's funny.
Yeah. So Josh Reese over there at What's Wrong with Wrestling now owns the Snapchat Street Profits. So if WWE wants to get that, they've been doing it for like 3 weeks at that point by the time that he got it. Why wasn't that the first thing you fucking did? Okay, we're gonna do this new gimmick. We're gonna call it the Street Profits. Why wasn't that the first thing you did? And when fucking Angela Dawkins couldn't turn around and be like, we should probably get that.
Yeah, that was definitely poor planning on their part. Continuing on in that episode, just to kind of bang it all out at once, we also had Johnny Gargano versus Raul Mendoza. Now, Raul Mendoza is not going to light the world on fire by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought he made a good accounting for himself in this match. But to me, the takeaway from this was I was a little skeptical of Johnny Gargano as a singles star. When they did the breakup, I wasn't sure how, because he's sort of been portrayed a little bit as the goofy kind of weird one in DIY. Watching that match and the way that crowd reacted, he came across like a star. He looked to me like an NXT championship contender. And I thought that was a really good presentation of Johnny Gargano. I still don't like the new theme song, but it is what it is. I don't like a lot of the new theme songs because Jason Jordan's is a flaming pile of shit. But in any event, I thought Gargano, part of me watching that for the first time said, maybe we don't have Drew Galloway take the title off Bobby Roode. Maybe we let Gargano do it and then get jumped by Ciampa, and that feuds for the championship down the road. But I don't know how long Ciampa's going to be out for, so it may not be really feasible.
Yeah.
So apparently I'm mumbling, so I should probably take your wife's tits out of my mouth. Over on the side, Kogo Sean saying that anyone in NXT is a championship contender because they have no one good left. Well, here's the other problem with that, is that every fucking champion in NXT is undefeated, so you never believe that anyone is going to beat them. So
and for the record, I disagree. I think they have a lot of very good talent down there. It's a totally different animal. You have to approach it differently.
You have to remember that Kogo Sean is the only person who subscribes to the network and doesn't actually watch NXT.
That is true.
Yeah, fair enough. But by not watching NXT, he also missed last week's main event, which I thought was phenomenal. The debut of Kyle O'Reilly in NXT as he took on Aleister Black. Now, much like his former tag team partner, Bobby Fish, took on Aleister Black and lost in his debut, but I thought even more over than Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly really looked like a stud in this match. They did it. They gave him a lot. I thought it was a great match. I thought the two of them worked well together. Interesting that they're bringing in O'Reilly and Fish doing the same thing on their debuts. I don't know if that means something, but I think the tag team division in NXT could use a boost of maybe a shot of Red Dragon.
Ooh, there you go. Sounds like a good alcohol drink.
There you go. Well, what it is to me is that those two guys can sort of fill the Gargano and Ciampa role of guys, the smaller guys that can work and carry a program with two bigger guys like the Authors of Pain. I'm very, very skeptical about this takeover match between the Authors of Pain and Sanity. I don't know which members of Sanity are going to be in this, but if we're talking, what's not Eric, the guys that aren't Eric Young,
Wolf and Dane,
yes, Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane. If it's them versus the Authors of Pain, and I like Killian Dane, I think he's got a future on the main roster, but I'm not sure that is a combination that's going to make for a great match, or at least not a takeover worthy match, especially with the standards the tag team division has had set.
Yeah. The other problem with Irish A Train and fucking jacked up Alex Wright is the fact that these are both heel teams, and that's because we have no face teams at all in NXT.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we broke them all up. We broke them all up, and the other one is hurt, and the other one we called up. So yeah. So unless we are getting the Superstar shake-up where we'll see, probably the Vaudevillains. Nope, sorry, they got fired. We'll see like the Ascension head back down there or something like that.
Aiden English and Luke Harper.
Yeah, we have nothing for tag teams down there, and that's kind of an issue because AOP needs some people that can put them over, and they also need some actual contenders. And Fat Mechanics, nobody really cares about them.
Well, they are a face tag team.
That is true. So maybe once HM05 comes back, maybe they'll start taking up the mantle again and going on it. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, Red Dragon would be a perfect thing to put in there. We've got some other, maybe makeshift tag teams we could throw together there.
I got one for you.
Get over, so.
Oh, I think the Street Profits will actually. I think this gimmick is going to actually get over, and I say that because it's not often these days where we get vignettes to introduce you and make you care about a gimmick before it debuts. True. And I think that's lost art, and I think that's actually really going to be good for them. But if we're looking for makeshift tag teams, allow me to suggest that we send back down Aiden English and Ty Dillinger to form the team of Perfect English.
Nice.
Wow.
Very nice.
I still go with Ty Dillinger and Bo Dallas to make Tybo, but that's fine too.
That works too. But Bo Dallas English is now part of the Miztourage, so he's doing
that is true.
Big things.
Mm-hmm. Big things.
So let's talk about something that's not so happy as the great episode of NXT we just touched on. As for the second time in their brief run in the WWE, the Revival is going to be shelved for an extended period of time. This time, Scott Dawson with a torn bicep tendon, I believe, and it's going to require surgery and probably have him out 4 to 6 months.
I just put them on my fantasy team like 3 weeks ago.
Didn't he get injured right after you traded for him last time? Keep him the fuck off your fantasy team, Adam.
I'm sorry.
So for those of you who are fans of the Revival, you can reach Adam at rundownwrestling@gmail. No, you can't. Never mind. Don't send hate mail there. We'll have to give out your personal phone number or something.
It wasn't my fault.
You know, before everyone starts going,
1-900-909-9900.
There you go.
Adam gets that joke.
I get it now. Yeah. Go ahead, Troy.
Before everyone starts running around saying that all the Revival are done, they're going to be, they're not going to be pushed anymore and stuff like that because of injuries. You got to remember that there's other people that have had a history of injuries to start their career and have gone on and been just fine. These two guys are too good to have this really be that much of a setback for them. They're still over. When they come back, they're going to continue to be over because people love the Revival. So I think they're going to be just fine. Yes, it sucks, but this will pass, and then they'll probably have a good lengthy run on them again. So because there's no other fucking tag teams on the roster. So
yeah, I mean, we'll see. I know you are correct in saying that there are other teams that have been injured, people that have been injured to start their career and eventually ended up in the right spots. But for those people, it typically took a good amount of time for them to get back to the top of the card. They had to sort of go through an extended proving ground period to show that they could be relied upon before they got back to that level. Kogo Sean on the side says, FYI, NXT viewership was reported to have rapidly declined last September, October. And if it's anything like the main product, that shit hasn't gone up since then. The people are with me. And I'm not sure. Well, here's the thing. The entire company is down. Like, Raw's down, SmackDown's down, and by extension, NXT is going to go down too, because if people aren't interested in the Raw and SmackDown offerings, they're not going to buy the network to get the pay-per-views. And if they don't buy the network to get the pay-per-views, they're not going to watch NXT. So really, the entire fate of NXT is based largely on the success of the larger brand, which we know is struggling right now. So that's not a surprise, and I don't think that can be used as an indictment of NXT.
True.
Yeah.
Was it the same member of Revival who got injured both times here?
No, it was Dash the first time and Dawson this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Dash, to be fair, Dash wasn't even his fault. He just took a fucking... He was the first guy Nakamura tried to kill, or the second one, because it was Austin Aries first.
Yeah.
Well, this goes back to the old argument of why are we continuing to run all of these house shows? Why are we continuing to have guys like this go down to NXT during their call up and stuff like that? You're just opening them up for more chances of getting hurt, because the Revival had been called up at that point, and they did one last little farewell show, and then he got his fucking jaw broken. And yet we have another injury here where Dawson, gets his bicep torn during a house show, and they're not making money off of these house shows really. And you're just
Finn Balor separated his shoulder at SummerSlam, man.
Yeah, that's one out of the past like 30 injuries we've had. I mean, yes, injuries are going to happen. It's just about minimizing the risk, and minimizing the risk would be to not have these guys have to go out there and perform 3 times a week.
Bailey separated her shoulder on Raw last week.
No, she didn't.
Emma got flattened like a pancake 2 weeks ago on Raw.
Yeah. Well, So anyways,
Troy, what would you like to talk about next?
What is this Goldust note on here?
there was a Goldust promo where
I remember that happening.
Yeah. He says he's looking for the right partner. Well, every time Goldust is looking for a partner, he finds the nearest black guy to team up with. So yes, a little
black.
He wore black face paint.
I'm not sure that's the same thing.
It doesn't matter.
The exception that proves the rule.
It's exception that proves the rule. Yeah. So if to peek behind the veil, yes, on our thing, I put Goldust is looking for the black teammate because that was my takeaway from that.
See, I took away that he's going to have either managing a female or have a new female valet.
That could be.
That's what I took from it.
I mean, there are some people that I could think of that would be good done in NXT, or if they wanted to bring back somebody. So, anyways, the other thing we had was Bray Wyatt, baby. I'm Bray Wyatt. He's challenging Finn Balor to a match at SummerSlam in a match that doesn't mean shit.
But we
Randy?
get to see the demon.
No, we're not going to see the demon at SummerSlam.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
Put money on it.
Put money on it. I'll bet you. I'll bet you. 2 weeks ago, when the red lights flashed instead of the white lights before Balor, I'm telling you, that was your hint right there.
I'm calling out the demon.
It wouldn't even shock me if we see the demon next week on Raw, because they, you know how they like to not be able to.
I believe that's called blowing your load.
All joking aside, it wouldn't shock me at all if Wyatt comes out to attack Balor and Balor teleports to the back, and the next thing on you see on the screen is just the head raised to the demon and then cut.
That could be. I could see it. But then again, you know, we've seen the demon more times on Raw than we have on pay-per-views at this point, so I wouldn't put it past him. So
yeah.
But anyways, you know, I'm not sure how Bray has the time to be in a match, considering he's probably still rebuilding his shack that got burned down. But Randy,
has anyone had more bad feuds in the course of the last year than Randy Orton?
Oh, he got his win back this week, guys. It's okay. He got his win back.
As soon as it said grudge match and they said it was non-title, I was like, oh, well, that's happening.
Like, oh, I wonder who's going to fucking win this one. Probably because we just realized, oh, wait, we're going to try to spin this guy off into a feud with Rusev. We should probably have him coming off more than 3 fucking losses to the guy who hadn't won more than 4 matches in his fucking entire career with WWE before that.
Just to get caught up on the side, Kogo Sean, my point about NXT viewership was in response to Adam saying everyone with the network watches NXT. Apparently, most network subscribers are like me and also don't care. And I disagree. I just think network subscriptions are down. And then he says, why not have Goldust team with Booker T again, keep him away from the commentary table? But that would mean David Otunga would be back. So let's keep Booker T there as much as possible.
Agreed.
And then my wife says, yes, let's bring back the Demon. To which Kogo Sean says, yes, bring back the Demon. When he debuted in WCW after that Kiss concert, it was awesome. I think he's managing the Florida Marlins now or something.
Wait. We're overlooking the fact that Goldust may be looking for a new tag team partner, and he is the master of the Shattered Dreams. If only there was a guy whose name was the Dream. The Velveteen Dream. There's your new fucking tag team, folks. Maybe. The Shattered Velveteen Dreams.
Maybe he goes looking for a dream and finds a nightmare. An American nightmare.
Oh, because he never quit the company, is what you're saying?
Right.
See, I thought you were going to make a Drew McIntyre joke about the guy who takes broken dreams and makes them come true, but
no,
sadly he doesn't use that theme song anymore.
He's going to be the NXT champion.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a week. So, but yeah, we glossed over Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt segment. Again, I thought Wyatt cuts another just rambling promo that doesn't really do anything to make me more interested in the match. Wyatt talks a lot and says nothing, and I think it was an interesting shtick the first few times we saw it, and now it's just like I want some meat on the potato with the potatoes. I want to know what you're talking about. I want to be a little clearer. I want you to talk in a way that puts over the angle. I liked the touch of Finn Balor being smart to realize he was going to teleport in and kind of get behind him. And I don't know how he knew where he was going to teleport to, but maybe what if Bray had teleported to that same turnbuckle as Wyatt, and then when the lights came on, Finn was sitting in his lap? That would have been funny.
I was gonna say piggyback ride, but
that works too.
Even better, he teleports in there and they become a fucking Cronenberg monster where they've got 4 arms, 2 heads.
What's that monster from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? It's just the head and the stomach.
Krang?
Yeah.
Yes, there you go. Bray Wyatt can just lift up his shirt and there's
exactly. There you go. Or is it Quado?
No, Quado is from what is the Arnold Schwarzenegger one?
Total Recall.
Total Recall, yeah. That's different. That's the same thing, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said or.
Krang is the guy.
That's why I said or.
Oh, I thought you thought that his name was in Krang.
No.
Okay. So because we need to sell more toys, for no fucking reason, Enzo Amore is going to be held in a shark tank or a shark cage. I'd rather him be in a shark tank. So
perhaps with that fish you posted on Facebook earlier today.
Yes, there you go. So Case goes over to Kurt Angle, and they have one of the worst backstage segments I've seen in a while, where neither of them sounded like they were actually talking to each other. And Big Cass is like, I don't like that Enzo guy. He keeps interfering in my matches, even though I'm not really fighting for anything important. And Kurt Angle's like, well, that's too bad. If only we could do something about that. And Big Cass is like, yeah, I don't care if he's in if you get him out of the building and put him in a damn shark cage. Kurt's like, yeah, that's a good idea because I'm bad at my job, and I just want to have some pills, and nobody will give me any fucking pills. So, shark cage match.
Well, see, yeah. And now it's irresponsible of the writers if next week someone doesn't go up to him and go, you know what you should do. You know what would be great is if you just handed me the heavyweight championship.
Yeah,
that would probably be a good idea. Yeah.
You know what, Kurt Hawkins? That is a good idea. I should hand you the Universal Championship.
Your name's Kurt.
Here you go.
My name's Kurt.
A little different, but
I'm your son.
And you're not that little trollop trying to date my black son. My black son.
Troy, my wife would like you to tell Jackson to go to bed.
Well, goddamn, Jackson, what are you doing up? It's past your bedtime. Why don't you get over here and bring me that stack of dimes you call Nick, and I'll drop you on it and put you to bed.
Okay, I think that's accomplished. That works.
All right. Rounding out Raw, Seth refuses to fist Dean, and now Dean wants to fist him. So we've had the
I want credit for that write up. I thought that was a nice one.
That's a good one. Yeah, so it looks like Dean Ambrose is going to be a Grand Slam champion because he has an opportunity with Seth to potentially win the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships and start and kick off a little bit of a Shield reunion. Because like I said, everyone was clamoring to see something that, the Shield was only around for 2 years. And they broke up like 4 years ago. So, and they're not going to get the Shield of old because Roman Reigns has got to talk. He's got to talk a lot. So, yeah. And you know what? Sheamus and Cesaro, I don't give a fuck about them anymore. They do not move the fucking needle. So it'd be great to get them, get the titles off of those two fucking schlubs, get them back to feuding with each other in a best of 17 series. And let's put the belts on the Fisting Brothers over here.
Troy, I hope you have the chat up. I'm not gonna read it, but you should definitely check it out. Anyway,
I've got some other terms that you can throw in the old Google machine there too.
Roll Tide on that.
There's a citrus related party that you can go ahead and Google.
No.
I'm drinking Sprite. So one of the ingredients is Sprite.
In any event,
this has been Troy Tells Children to Watch Porn.
At least he's not just showing it right on the screen this time, so that's an improvement.
Or sending it to you in a text.
During a meeting, there is a thing going around. A rumor or speculation, whatever you want to call it, that during the main event of SummerSlam, Seth and Dean are going to win the tag titles early on in the show, and then at the end of the show, they're going to run out and help Roman win, and they're going to sort of reunite as a heel faction, holding all the titles. To me, that's a best case scenario for the usage of these guys, at least. I think it's the one way you could get Roman sort of back over as part of that group. I think he might be a guy who's better with kind of backup, better as a leader, and certainly better as an official heel, even though Sal said he turned heel like 2 months ago. I would probably venture to say that's not likely to happen, but I think it would be a good way to go.
It's not going to happen because then you have 0 faces left. You would have 0 face.
Well, that's not true. Strowman would be the guy who gets robbed at SummerSlam, and it would be sort of that turn.
Yeah. So you'd have Strowman, and you'd have
They cheer for Joe
Lesnar
anyways.
is still technically a face if you want to be honest
that's
about
true.
it.
Lesnar is
So.
a face, yeah. That's
And
the best
Cena's
part
a free agent.
True, he can just slide on over there.
Right.
That is kind of the best part of the 4-way main event is that nobody are really faces and nobody are really heels in it.
Right.
Because the guys who are supposed to be the bad guys get cheered and the guys who are supposed to be the good guys get booed.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then you got Brock Lesnar, who people are just like, oh, there he is again. There's that big fucking gorilla.
People are just excited to see him when he shows up, though.
Why? He sucks.
Well, here's the thing, and I find this interesting, and I'm pretty sure that the reason Adam is leaving the show is because I made him talk about MMA last week, but you weren't on the show last week, Troy. So, what are your thoughts on the potential of a John Jones-Brock Lesnar fight?
I think it's as stupid as putting a MMA fighter into a boxing match. John Jones is like 80 pounds less than Brock. There's a reason that we have.
No.
That's not to say. Let me rephrase that. The original UFC didn't have weight classes, and one of the great things is you'd have like a big fucking Samoan guy get leveled by like a 185-pound guy. Brock, in terms of being a fighter, was always a ground and pound guy, and you'd have to catch John Bones Jones first. And if the law can't catch John Bones Jones, I don't think that Brock Lesnar can.
USADA has.
So I think that in terms of a money-making event, it'll make a fucking shitload of money. In terms of an actual good show, I'm thinking we're going to have a lot of the same thing that we would get, where Brock would be trying to do some takedowns, the Bones would be doing a little jumping and driving around and stuff like that. And I don't think it'd be that good of a match. Now, will I watch it? Of course I'll watch it, because any chance to see fucking diverticulitis get his fucking block knocked off, I'm fine with that. And not that I like John Bones Jones. I don't like him either. But yeah, I mean, if we're doing another like cross promotion thing with UFC and WWE, I'm fine with it. If Bones Jones shows up on Raw, that's kind of useless because I don't think he's that good of an actor. So I'm sure he'll be terrible, but we've had worse. We had fucking Angry Cat. So
Grumpy Cat, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the fucking thing is called.
I've heard the weight argument before in relation to this story, and to me that's sort of a moot point because people look at what John Jones weighs at a fight. Now that's not what John Jones weighs walking around. I mean, that's a severe cut. So if he wants to fight up, he can just stay at his normal weight. He's not trying to make weight against Lesnar. It's probably going to be a catch weight fight. So the difference won't be as dramatic as people make it out to be, I don't think.
No, the difference will be one guy has been fighting MMA consecutively for a while. The other guy's been play fighting for the past couple of years.
No, but Troy, keep in mind, John Jones, this was his first fight back after a year suspension too.
That is true, yeah. That is true.
And it wasn't his first year suspension. So
yeah, that is true. Like I said, I mean, the weight limits, they don't really matter because, I mean, Jones' walking weight is probably a good 20 pounds heavier than he normally fights. So, yeah, that's not a big thing. The biggest thing is how motivated Brock is, and to actually try to fight. And I don't think that Brock has as much motivation as he used to. I think he's just there to get paid. So, whereas I think Jones is would be a little bit more of trying to kind of make a name, like I took down this fucking dude who everyone thought was unbeatable, even though he was very beatable. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, in terms of entertainment value, it would be the spectacle that you're getting right now with McGregor and fucking the wife beater guy, Money Mayweather.
And I take it from your comments earlier, you don't give McGregor much of a shot in that one.
That is a situation where Mayweather is a very talented
Adam, pay attention.
Yeah. He's a very talented boxer. He just doesn't try as much. And McGregor is a very talented fighter and has a background in boxing. The problem is that Floyd has a way to shut you down, and it's essentially that he hugs you and gropes your ass. So I think in terms of that, I mean, if he catches him with a couple of hands, he'll probably knock that fucking glass jaw right off of him. And that's the only way that I think McGregor will really win, is he's probably got maybe a little bit of advantage on that aspect, but it would be so close in terms of actual strength of the two of them. But yeah, like I said, it's the fact that that's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to switch from MMA back to boxing, where it's a lot easier to switch from boxing to MMA, I think.
That's interesting. And I'm sure we'll talk about that a little more in the next couple of weeks as we get a little closer to that fight. Now that Adam's gone, and we can actually talk about the shit that's interesting to us.
Yeah.
But
such as Smoke and Jay Cutler getting signed to the Dolphins.
Yeah, well, that's not exactly that interesting to me.
It's not interesting to anybody.
So let's go to number 14 on your list here, Troy, because I think this is one you might have a rant attached to, and I'm looking forward to hearing this.
Oh, so number 14 on our list is, does anyone care about the SmackDown Live Women's title? The answer is no. The writers don't even care because Natalya is getting a shot. And I know everyone says, oh, Natalya, she's really good.
No,
She was when there was nobody else to compare her to, but now there's a bunch of really talented women out there. But you know what? A good wrestler. But I didn't really care about him. And I don't care about him again because his character sucks. And Natalia's character sucks. So I don't care about her. You know what? There are plenty of guys who were terrible wrestlers, but they had great characters, and I cared about them because they were fucking characters. Is Natalya getting a shot at a title with somebody who I also don't care about? I don't fucking like Naomi. Haven't. She's got an entrance that was over, and her in-ring work, she is completely passable. She's a fine wrestler. She's not bad. She's good. I just
very athletic.
She doesn't move the needle or my penis. So, and in terms of her promo work, she's atrocious. She can't fucking cut a promo. And I'm really sick of ass kissing Naomi that we've been seeing, where it's like standing up for Shane and being like, just talk, baby, it's fine. No, you shut up. You let Shane talk. He's the man. Like, it's terrible.
What are your thoughts on the new belt?
I wish they wouldn't do it, but it's more of her gimmick stuff, and it'll be gone once Carmella cashes in, which I hope is in 2 weeks. So
yeah, it seems to me that this. Oh, God.
I was going to say, was it me or was the match between Naomi and Carmella this week not that great?
It's not, because Naomi is somebody who needs somebody with a higher skill than her to carry the match a little bit more for her. When she has somebody who's better than her, she can rise up to that. When she has someone who has less of ability, she usually comes down to their level and doesn't put on as good of a show. Carmella is still very green. You know, she's only wrestled like 150 matches in her career. So, you know, I think she will develop into probably one of the better ones. But again, you know, she needs someone who can kind of carry her a little bit more, and Naomi's not really that one to do that. So,
yeah, I will say Carmella's character work has become much better of late. I've become sort of a fan of her promos and her interviews, and her all around persona, I think, has been much better of late. I wasn't a huge fan of the match. I don't think that was supposed to be that good. I think there was a match to come. I really feel like this whole SummerSlam match is just a vehicle to get us to a Carmella cash-in, because otherwise it doesn't make a lot of sense. Going to what we talked about last week, Adam, where we're looking at a SummerSlam card full of the matches that aren't the best matches we could be getting. I mean, you could say what you want about Naomi's skill, but you put her in there with a Charlotte, you're going to get a really good match that's got some anticipation to it, that's got some heat behind it. Same thing with a Becky Lynch. There are options and things they could have done with Naomi to make this an interesting and compelling match, and instead they gave us the very definition of plain white toast in the SmackDown Women's Division in Natalya, who has no charisma, nothing to draw you to her except the reputation for being a great worker because she's a heart, and she's not. And that's so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will say, you know, you put her in a match with Charlotte, and there is the anticipation that maybe we'll see Charlotte's ass. So there's always that.
I was just going to say, speaking of Charlotte, what do we think of Charlotte versus Lana this week?
Well, that was the one thing we didn't see in the other pictures. So now we've got the whole package.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's another thing too. Once you've seen, you know, her stroke tits, you're like really. Her ass, okay, sure, fine.
So here's a question I have, right? We've all seen the ads. Charlotte is in an amazing physical condition, right? Obviously, there's no arguing that. She keeps herself in great shape. She's a former personal trainer.
Sure.
You've seen the ads. She does, if you follow her on Instagram, she does an amazing amount of squats. How does she have no ass?
Yeah.
Flat as a board.
Yeah, she's got that pancake ass. Here's the thing. Instead of spending the money on the terrible tit job, maybe you should have got some ass implants. I'm just saying.
Smathers on the side. Smathers in the house said he would hate to see. Oh, what is it? I don't know what he's. I would hate to see get beaten by Naomi's bitch kicks. At least she has minimized her rectum-based offense.
So let's try to figure out what Smathers is saying.
I believe he said I would hate to see Natalia get beaten by Naomi's bitch kicks.
No. I would hate to see Charlotte get beaten by Naomi's bitch kicks.
Okay. Yeah, the kicks are awful. The kicks are just terrible.
Yeah, the kicks are awful. That stupid move that she does where she puts the legs in her shoulder and jams her fucking asshole into your face is awful. Her finishing move is awful. Her submission move is awful.
Oh, I love the submission. I think the submission's great. Pulling both arms back with the legs while you pull the neck forward, that shit looks painful. That looks legit. I like it.
Yeah, I'll take the submission, but the rest of it is...
And I love the way she's gotten into it the last few times she's used it, kind of out of nowhere, off of other moves and good transitions into it. I'm a fan of that submission move.
You know, now that she's got a submission move, maybe she can join a sorority with a bunch of other submission specialists. So, yet again, and this is going to be another rehash of an argument I've had before, yet again, Cena buries people that he shouldn't bury.
Oh, and fuck you.
He proceeded to call the Big Breakfast skinny fat. So he's body shaming, which is kind of annoying. But again, this is fine if you're doing it to a guy like The Miz, because The Miz has a career ahead of him, behind him as well. But the Big Breakfast is still trying to get over, and a lot of people don't like him. So calling him a dumpster fire and calling him fat is kind of juvenile stuff when he should really, be doing the better scene of work that we've been seeing him, where he's actually talking about the fact that, the Big Breakfast probably doesn't belong where he's at. So, but maybe that's just me.
So your take on Cena is you want him to have the same fucking promos and feud every fucking time he's out there.
That's what he does already. No, I don't want that.
You just said he's doing something different now than he's been doing recently. Your take is that he shouldn't be doing anything differently. He should do the same fucking thing all the time. And by the way, the fucking guy just put over Nakamura the week before, clean in the middle of the ring, despite almost getting paralyzed.
Oh my gosh, don't paralyze. Honestly, if that doesn't make him fucking leave WWE, I don't know what will, because you landed a fucking giant movie role where you're gonna fucking dance around with a car in the 80s. You can't be going out there and risking your fucking acting career for one fucking match or a match here and there. Just leave the WWE, dude. The WWE doesn't need him anymore.
But he still wants to do it, so give him credit for that.
I give him credit. I just think that at this point he needs to really stop sticking your toe into the acting thing. If you want to be an actor, but go be an actor. And then come back for like a WrestleMania match here and there, like The Rock was doing for a while. Not this like weird little thing where he's doing where, I'm back for a couple of weeks until I got to film something else. I'm gone again for a couple months.
You mean like The Miz? The Miz does that all the time, dude.
Yeah, The Miz doesn't need to be working anymore either.
No. So you want to take all the good, compelling characters off of TV. That's your plan.
So that we can get new...
plan for success might have a flaw or two in it. I'm just saying.
No, it doesn't, because you've got a ton of talent that can step up into that role then. Whereas right now you're devoting time. You're devoting time to a guy like Cena who we probably don't need to devote time to anymore. Start building up some other guys.
The one and only guy who you can quantitatively look at and say this guy moves the needle and brings ratings up when he's on the show. In a company where ratings are slagging, you want to take the one fucking guy who ratings spike when he's on TV and kick him out. That's the plan.
Do you think that the Big Breakfast beats Cena?
Yes. No, I'm sorry. I think Cena wins the match. And I think Cena wins the match.
What's the point?
because this is what they do with Money in the Bank.
I was going to say, yeah, because Baron has the briefcase.
Right. He doesn't need
But
to
that's
win.
that's not what they should do. That's not what they should do. This should be. I don't care if
I'm not saying you're wrong,
the,
but that's what they do.
Yeah, this formula is well known.
To have a win over Cena.
Well, he'll have a chance. He just won't get it.
Otherwise, we're going to go.
No, what we're gonna do is the same thing we always do. He's gonna lose a bunch of matches, including on the night where he cashes in. He'll lose a match, so everyone will think he's look at fucking Seth Rollins lost to Randy Orton at WrestleMania before he cashed in and won the title.
Yeah,
this is the formula. It's established.
Well, and that's why we're going to see it coming. Because it's a formula. It's established now. So now if the Big Breakfast loses to Cena, I'm going to be like, he's cashing into the fucking main event.
Okay, but again, we go back to the discussion we had an hour ago about Vince McMahon and everything being the same because it's all going through him. This is his formula. We've seen it.
Yeah.
It was maybe 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Was it
Speaking
real?
of formulas.
We're only an hour 6 in.
Holy shit. Wow.
Speaking of formulas, KON Styles 46 is on for SummerSlam.
With Shane McMahon, your special referee.
Yeah.
I like that segment.
Shane.
I like
segments
that
are fine. The thing is, the segments are fine because these guys are great. The problem is yet again, they're still stuck in the mid card, but also the fact that they're still feuding with each other. And now we have Shane injected into this somehow instead of like injecting Sammy into it or injecting somebody else and start doing like a triple threat for the U.S. Championship or a 4-way for the U.S. Championship. We're having the 14th time that these two guys have gone against each other for the U.S. Championship.
You have another 4-way on SummerSlam though.
Maybe just somebody else. I mean,
well, first off, we've eliminated one of the multi-people matches because now the revival's out. So we're just gonna have the Hardys and the Gallows and Anderson. So we've eliminated one of the multi-team matches.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this goes again to my point of this SummerSlam being a bunch of matches that are less than what they could be. I would rather see Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon at SummerSlam. I think that would be a compelling match. I think I'd be interested in seeing that. And that would free up AJ to have started a new feud with, I don't know, Mike Kanellis off the top of my head for the U.S. title. That would be another match I'd be interested in seeing because it's something we haven't seen before. They have a little bit of interaction history in Ring of Honor that the Smark fans would know about. That would be something people would get behind. Unfortunately, instead of getting exciting, new, interesting things, we're getting the same things we've already gotten and matches that are less than the matches we could be seeing. That's my problem with the SummerSlam card.
So you're like, oh, well, we need to see something new. Well, you know what? You've never seen fucking Big Show versus Big Cass before. Oh,
wait,
we have.
Live on free
we've
TV.
Never seen...
They gave it away on free TV. I saw it.
We've never seen the New Day take on the Usos. Oh, wait, no, we did that one as well. We definitely have never seen Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. We haven't seen that before.
Except for the last pay-per-view.
Yes, every second fucking match we've seen before.
And that to me is the biggest
problem. Wait. No. Oh, I found one. Neville is going to take on Akira Tozawa.
So as much as you get irritated by the concept of giving it away on free TV, this is why I get upset with that trend. Thing. But this is why I get upset with that trend because we're not building to the pay-per-views anymore. We're writing the TV as though we're building to the pay-per-views, but the pay-per-views are not where the actual biggest stuff happens. We give that away on the TV show.
Or house shows.
And then try to use house shows. I don't care about. Those are house shows. Basically, exist to draw a little extra money, to sell a little extra merch, and to let these guys work on angles and get comfortable with each other in the ring as they begin a program. That's what house shows are for.
But we literally had a title change on a house show.
Yeah, but
that's like once every 2 years.
Yeah, once every 2 years, and it was a Madison Square Garden show, which is essentially not really a house show, if you will. It's might as well be a pay-per-view. The way they book those shows.
That's the issue. If we're going to start doing it where feuds can start and end or can end on USA Network, then have actual title changes happen other than just fucking Sasha Banks winning the title.
I agree.
My point
is when you talk about when you get on us about getting upset about things being given away on TV, that's the point, is that nothing is left to be special for the special events anymore.
I mean, the idea is that they're going to have a better match than what they had on the TV. The TV match is kind of a taste. It's the fucking appetizer to what the pay-per-view match is supposed to be. So that's not what's been going on though. What's been going on is that these guys think that every match that are in front of people needs to be the best fucking match ever. So they have awesome fucking Raw matches, and they turn around and go to the pay-per-view, and they're like, oh wait, well, we did a bunch of this stuff already. I guess we'll just do it again.
I hate when people make the comparison between UFC and WWE because they're two completely different things. That said, I'm going to make one comparison here, or point out one difference that I think is a problem. When you look at the way the wrestling shows, in particular the pay-per-views, are structured, and we know this, we've heard this in the past, they don't want guys to outshine their main event. They want guys, hey, do less than you can do to make sure you don't show up these guys. Don't do all your moves. We've seen it with the 205 Live guys every single week. We know this policy exists. And you look at the UFC, and the guys who have the best fight, whether it's the opening fight, the middle fight, or the main event, those guys get a fucking bonus. They are encouraged to go out and be the best fucking match on that card. I feel like if WWE told their guys, go out and give us the best fucking match on the card and you'll get a bonus, we want every match to go out there and try to be the best match on the card, you would have a lot better fucking shows. Now, as long as it doesn't equate to motherfuckers getting sit-out power bombed through a table off the top of a ladder and then stand up immediately, because that guy's on his way to WWE. As long as we don't get to there, then I'm perfectly okay with the notion of every match being excellent at a pay-per-view.
Yeah. The other problem we have is we don't have enhancement talent anymore. We don't have jobbers anymore. We don't have it where we had in the past, where you can keep two guys away from each other for a little bit by having them do a random match that with no stakes to it, or keep them away from each other for a while. Instead, we're like, we have 3 hours of TV to fill. Well, we got to do something.
This is where we have a bit of irony, because we're saying that those words just came out of your mouth, and we opened the show saying, I can't believe they had Jason Jordan fight a jobber and didn't further his angle with The Miz at all, which is sort of in direct opposition.
Yeah, but that's one segment, though. That's the problem. All the rest of the segments on that show were all about the storyline, and we got to have a match again. We even had fucking Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal again.
Right. And none of us are advocating that we wanted to see The Miz and Jason Jordan in a match on TV. We just wanted to see some furtherment of the story.
Yeah. And instead we were busy trying to put over Brock again because he totally needs it.
Right, exactly. Adam, are you already fucking mailing it in? You still got another hour or so, pal.
No, he's getting upset because he knows what's next on the docket.
You guys are just such chatty Cathys.
You hired us.
So last on our list at number 15,
I didn't hire you. You ain't getting paid shit.
Well, if you think we're putting all that work in, and the PayPal.me is still going to you, motherfucker, we gotta have a conversation about that. Troy,
I'm still gonna be the one paying for the Podomatic.
Number 15 on your list, my friend.
I already made it red, which means we're done talking about it.
But you gotta say it so the public knows.
Oh, as nobody watches 205 Live, we're not gonna be talking about 205 Live.
TJ Peer versus Rich Swann was pretty good.
And that policy is in place going forward.
Yeah, because here's the thing: who's the person on the show who watches 205 Live?
Adam.
Hi.
Yeah.
And who's the person who's not going to be on next week?
Hi.
Yeah. So sorry, you're gonna have to get your 205 Live fixed on the fucking AfterBuzz show, which eventually you're gonna fucking catch up to.
Smathers on the side.
So,
I think when I was talking about Adam mailing it in, said, why break that streak now? So there you go.
No, I think he was responding to Kogos Sean.
Oh, that might be.
I have the chat room open, motherfuckers.
Oh, that's a first at a last.
Yeah, it's like a third.
Oh shit! I forgot to fucking check who won the who won the fantasy league this week.
That's all right. We have a game instead.
There you go. Speaking of which,
I'm assuming it was fucking Raccoon. So, speaking of which,
game time. It's game time. It's time to play a game. Yeah.
Okay. So, we're doing this a week early, obviously, because next week it's probably just going to be the two of us, and that would be a really odd game. So, what has become a new tradition, although I missed the last one because child and all that, we take a look at last year's card of the same name event.
Excuse me.
What?
Because
Yes.
reasons.
Because reasons. Yep. So we we take a look at 1 year ago. What was the card for the event that we're currently watching? Now, obviously, we were not able to do that for Great Balls of Fire because that one didn't exist before and should never exist again. And
Fingers
like
crossed.
I said, for reasons, yep, we weren't able to do it for Battleground, but 2016 SummerSlam came to us from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Now,
Never heard
I will
that
give
place
the winner.
before.
No, it's somewhere. It's closed down. I'm going to give the winner. Then you guys have to give me who they beat. And let me bring up my thing here. The first match is going to be a little difficult. So it was a 12-man tag team match where 3 teams took on 3 teams. I'm going to give you the 3 winning teams.
Oh boy.
Adam, you're going to start off and give me one of the teams that they beat. Jason will try to give me the other one, and then you'll get another challenge. Okay. So the team of American Alpha, the Usos, and the Hype Bronies beat who?
Who was around back then?
I know one.
Let's say the pre-Fashion Police Breezango.
Correct. Jason.
Was it the Vaudevillains?
Correct.
Oh.
Adam, give me the last person that they beat.
Who else is there?
The last team.
Last team, sorry.
Given when this was and what had happened just prior. The Ascension?
Correct.
Yeah.
Jason. The thrown together tag team of Sami Zayn and Neville defeated who?
Oh shit. Fuck.
Shit fuck, I don't think was a tag team.
The Dudley Boys.
Correct.
Wow, nice pull.
All right, Adam.
That's because it was in Brooklyn. I remember them being in New York. They played up the whole New York thing.
Oh,
yeah. In a singles match, Sheamus defeated who?
How could you forget the amazing best of 7 series against Cesaro?
Oh, I wasn't sure if you remember that. Jason.
What led to our current day tag team champion.
Yes, right. Jericho defeated what team?
I remember this because there was fucking inexplicable reason for them to beat Enzo and Cass in Brooklyn.
You guys are flying through this. Adam.
Yeah.
Charlotte won the WWE Women's Championship from who?
Well, given that wonderful streak that they set up, I'm going to say that was Sasha Banks.
Correct.
But
a little bit tougher one for
what was the spot of the match though?
Spot of the match.
Maybe that spot was the reason why Charlotte tipped sags. No,
you don't remember when Charlotte climbed up and held her on the top rope and then just dropped her straight across the fucking turnbuckle?
Just fucking dropped her. All right, Jason. The Miz successfully defended his Intercontinental Championship against whom?
I brought this up 2 weeks ago, Apollo Crews.
Correct. Neck and neck at 4 apiece. Adam, AJ Styles defeated who in a singles match?
Oh yeah, that was John Cena.
Apologies. All right.
Face it, rank your place.
Luke Gallows, or Gallo as I wrote on here for some reason, and Carl Anderson defeated who via DQ?
That would be the tag team champions at the time. The longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history. The New Day.
Correct. All right, Adam.
Along with the help of Big E's testicles.
Oh, that's right. Jesus.
No,
Thanks,
I think that was the John Cena, or that was the
Thanks.
John Stewart one.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Johnny.
with Big E's testicles.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam.
Thanks, Johnny Stu.
Dean Ambrose successfully defended the WWE World Championship. Remember, he had that a year ago. Against whom?
Huh. Who was Dean feuding with at that point?
The crowd.
Well, that's always the case. Cowboy hat, funny hat. Yeah, oh boy. Dolph Ziggler.
Correct.
Okay.
Chase. Yes, this was that time that Dolph Ziggler was facing Dean Ambrose in what was a little bit of a career renaissance for Ziggler, which quickly turned to shit. Jason. In a 6-woman piss break match, Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and Nikki Bella defeated who? Get all 3.
Do I get 3 points if I get all 3?
No.
Yeah.
Because it's literally the entire division. So,
all right, Natalya, Alexa Bliss,
and Nikki Bella defeated who?
Nikki Bella. And Nikki Bella was taking Eva Marie's spot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right after Eva Marie got suspended. So it would have had to have been. Wait a second. So this was Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and Nikki Bella. So it was a SmackDown match. So it would have been Becky Lynch, Carmella, Naomi?
Correct. We are tied and we go to the final question. Oh, sorry. We got 2 more. Sorry. Adam. Who did Finn Balor beat to become the first Universal Champion?
Gee. Burn it down. I can't scream like that guy. Seth Rollins.
And Jason, we're going to have to go to tiebreaker on this one. Brock Lesnar defeated whom in the main event?
Oh, that was Randy Orton.
By
I
concussion.
still can't believe that was the main event over the Universal title match. Well, I can, but also dumb.
Brock Lesnar won by concussion. Okay.
By concussion.
Buzz in by saying your name.
Oh boy.
Please tell me who 15 years ago became the NWA World Champion.
15 years ago?
Buzzing by saying your name.
2002?
The NWA World Champion?
Yes.
Adam, Mike Bennett.
Or correct. Mike Bennett wasn't wrestling 15 years ago.
I don't fucking know. It's a weird question.
I want to say that was the time that TNA had the NWA championship.
Oh, very likely.
That is correct.
Was it Ron the Truth Killings?
That is correct. Jason wins.
What a memorable champion.
Because I was going through my mind who would have been the NWA champion back in those days, And then I was like, well, which one would be the most ridiculous one that Troy would single out? Because I was going to say Christian. I was going to say AJ Styles. And I'm like, wait a second. R-Truth had it.
This is Troy we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. That was his first of 2? I think 2 title reigns.
Oh boy.
Wait. Adam.
Yeah.
Who did he beat?
Which time?
Was not watching TNA at that point. So Jeff Jarrett?
No.
That's what I would have guessed too.
It was Ken Shamrock.
Even better.
I saw a thing 2 days ago. Where it was like 15 years ago, Ron Killings won the NWA. I was like, Ron Killings is a world champion.
So, ladies and gentlemen, on Adam's last night, the Rundown Trivia Championship comes out of abeyance.
But at least it went to a tiebreaker.
Back home where it belongs.
What is happening there?
Oh, sorry, I was typing. All right, so heading on to the news desk.
All right, leading off the news this week, a story that I know is going to make both Troy and Adam particularly happy, as after giving birth in May, Brie Bella is getting ready for a return to the ring. Last Wednesday, Brie was at the SoCal School of Professional Wrestling in San Marcos, California, with Daniel Bryan, Nikki Bella, and Nia Jax for a training session. No word yet on if Nia Jax actually killed anyone during the training session, but the rumor is out there. Brie last wrestled in April of 2016 at the WrestleMania 32 kickoff show at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, when she teamed up with fellow Total Divas castmates Alicia Fox, Natalia Page, and Eva Marie. And that group is not doing particularly well. In a 10-person tag team match against Lana, Naomi, Tamina, and Summer Rae and Emma, Brie sealed the victory for her team when she forced Naomi to tap with the Yes Lock, and bonus points if you remember that. A few days after the show, Brie said she would be taking an extended break from in-ring competition, citing family reasons, while also stating that she would continue to work for the WWE as an ambassador. What the fuck are you doing?
My microphone is suddenly recording much more on the left channel than the right, and now it just fixed itself, so I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Okay, well, it's a good thing this is your last show because your microphone's fucking killing itself. During a panel discussion at Comic-Con,
recording?
Yes, with WWE Superstars last month, Brie announced her
time to
return
rip from YouTube,
saying, quote, "My husband and I are talking, and he was like, you know what, Brie, I think we have enough room to get a ring, and why don't we start training?" Brie explained that she had not begged her husband to build a wrestling ring at their home. She had begged her husband to build a wrestling ring at their home in Phoenix, Arizona, and he finally caved and even agreed to train her. We just started training. I'm hoping in 2018 I can get back in the ring. And on a side note, on the first training session, Daniel Bryan suffered a concussion. So,
no, thank you.
That sounds about right.
Following a report that Brandy Rhodes is no longer listed by Global Force Wrestling as an active knockout on its official website, it is now confirmed that she is no longer with the organization. According to the latest issue of Wrestling Observer newsletter, Rhodes was recently released from her contract. It's not entirely clear whether GFW opted to release her or she asked to be let go, though since it has been reported she did in fact request her release. A big reason for her departure was that she was filming a non-wrestling related television show in Atlanta, Georgia, and GFW were not very cooperative about it. Rumors have it, in fact, that GFW was demanding a percentage of this product, despite it being non-wrestling related. Rhodes debuted at Ring of Honor last Saturday, and the promotion is more than willing to work with her on the show. Probably because they want to keep her husband happy. According to PWInsider.com, WWE officials have had discussions of pulling all of the former Ring of Honor wrestlers into a new NXT faction together. On last week's episode of NXT, the surprise debut of Ring of Honor wrestler Kyle O'Reilly was held, and he was dubbed a world-famous combatant. O'Reilly lost to Aleister Black in the main event, and similar to Bobby Fish, who was O'Reilly's tag team partner in Ring of Honor last week, he lost to Black in his NXT debut on the July 12th show. In addition to Fish and O'Reilly, the group is rumored to include Roderick Strong and the soon-to-debut Adam Cole.
Baby.
And anybody have any thoughts on a Ring of Honor stable in NXT?
Can they get CM Punk for it?
That would be a Bullet Club stable. No.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it will help. I think anytime you get a faction like that, you're going to have them be heels almost in a way, just because they're obviously going to kind of form by helping somebody win a match that they probably shouldn't win otherwise. But
It's like the Radicals all over again.
yeah, exactly. Paige revealed on Busted Open Radio on Thursday that she will be returning to WWE soon, or so she thinks. The 24-year-old said that she doesn't have an exact return date since she is waiting to hear back from her doctor after undergoing a CT scan during a recent checkup. Paige has been out of action since suffering a neck injury in June of 2016. She underwent neck surgery in October and has been hoping to return to the ring by June. Paige also said during the interview that she can't wait to see Bayley, Alexa Bliss, and Nia Jax. She also said that she was happy that Naomi is the SmackDown Women's Champion. She also can't wait to see her dealer for her next Coke fix. Troy, thoughts on a Paige return? Do you think that's actually feasible at this point?
You know what? It is, because we do have Lana and Tamina as a tag team right now, and we know she's really good as being in a threesome.
But
yes, and if you're interested in that story, you should definitely go back and check out the episode where Troy reviews the Paige sex tapes, because that was some great quality audio that you did. Best.
I'm really bummed we haven't gotten anything new.
Well, didn't you post something not too awful long ago?
We had a couple of Ronda Rousey nudes.
Yeah, there you go. Eric Bischoff is not happy with Bret Hart over a claim that he made about him a few years ago on the WWE Network series The Monday Night Wars. On Thursday, a clip from the series on boxing legend Mike Tyson's involvement in the Monday Night War in 1998 appeared on the WWE Network's Twitter feed. Hart is shown saying that when he was in WCW, Bischoff rejected his idea of bringing Tyson to the organization. Hart said, "Word had just come out that Mike Tyson was doing something with Vince. I remember Eric telling me Mike Tyson had called him first, and he kind of blew him off and said, 'We don't need Mike Tyson.' I remember listening to that and thinking, Steve Austin and Vince, and Mike Tyson, these guys are going to kick the hell out of WCW." Bischoff, who the WWE Network tagged in the tweet, responded by tweeting, quote, "This is absolute nonsense. Bret Hart is full of shit." Bischoff then said that Hart needs a dementia check in response to a fan. Fair or foul to suggest Bret Hart needs a dementia check given his stroke and concussion issues?
Go figure. People hate Bret Hart.
The question was fair or foul, guys. Come on.
I give it a 4.
4 out of 10.
I gave it a 5 out of 10 wood bang.
F, marry, kill. Bret Hart, Eric Bischoff. This is what I know is going to make you both very happy, and that's why I included it. Eva Marie announced this week on social media that she is no longer with the WWE.
Yay.
Saying, quote, "Today is a bittersweet day as WWE and I have agreed to part ways. It has been an incredible 4 years, and I am truly grateful to Vince, Paul, Stephanie, and the entire WWE team. I would not be
That's
where
not what
I
that
am.
means. You didn't resign.
I would not be where I am today without their continued support. These are such priceless moments from the past few years. Everything from visiting our troops in Afghanistan to working alongside the Special Olympics. I couldn't even begin to share them all here, but there's no doubt I will carry them with me on this exciting journey ahead. Last but not least, thank you, my fans, for allowing me to live out my dream that I could never have imagined for myself. You are the reason I love to go to work, and that's not changing anytime soon. And finally, the hustle won't stop after shooting back-to-back films. More are coming, and I can't wait to share with you soon. Hashtag love. Hashtag all red everything.
Hashtag porn."
Marie's departure from WWE had been expected for several months. It was reported in March that WWE would not be renewing her contract when it expired. After being drafted to SmackDown Live last summer, she debuted a new long introductory entrance while confronting the brand's female talents, reestablishing herself as a heel. Throughout August, Marie began faking multiple unfortunate events in order to avoid in-ring competition. Her push came to an abrupt halt on August 18th as she was suspended for 30 days for violating the company's wellness policy. Marie was replaced by the returning Nikki Bella at SummerSlam as part of the 6-woman tag match and never returned to the division.
I'm so happy to go and visit our troops and to work with the Special Olympics and be too shitty to ever appear on television in a match.
Smathers says hashtag she will be in soft porn next year, and I think you're selling her short. Make it hardcore. There you go, Troy. Troy just nailed it.
That is too long of a hashtag.
And I got another article that's going to make Adam very happy on his final night, but you see, do not expect Rey Mysterio to return to the WWE because after initially showing interest, Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated reported Friday that the WWE passed on signing the legendary luchador because Vince McMahon is not interested in negotiating with Mysterio's representation, specifically Conan. The rift between McMahon and Conan dates back to 1992 when the WWE invested thousands of dollars into the Max Moon character, only for Conan to ultimately make the decision to continue main eventing in Mexico. Conan was recently welcomed backstage at a WWE live event by Chris Jericho, but his appearance did not help mend any of the issues that exist between himself and management. Mysterio is likely to receive an enticing offer from Global Force Wrestling, and he would instantly become the company's biggest star as well as a fresh face. He could even replace the unpredictable Alberto El Patron on the payroll. A sticking point may be Mysterio's desire to retain control of his booking outside of the company and to dictate his own schedule.
Did anyone actually ever think that Max Moon would work?
Probably.
Somebody had to have.
Yeah, probably. Well, you're looking at that now from the jaded fans of a Smart, but you're talking back then when it was. I remember Max Moon being really fucking cool when I was at it. I was young, watching it, and the hair coming out and the fireworks shooting out of his hands. I was a Max Moon mark at the time.
It's going to be a jetpack, but obviously it can't be a real jetpack, so it's going to fire confetti and he's going to jump up the stairs. Genius!
Whatever. Conan's a dick anyway, so.
True. Very true.
So.
Can't imagine why Vince wouldn't want to work with him.
Did you ever hear the Bruce Pritchard story about Conan?
No. Moving on.
No. It's a good story. It's tremendous. Apparently, when WCW was going out of business and they were bringing in the Radicals and all that stuff was going on, Bruce was still running talent relations for WWE and or involved in the office or something, and got a call. And the call came in, and he's like, "This is Bruce. Can I help you?" And he's, yo, this is K-Dog. He's like, who? He's like, it's K-Dog, man, K-Dog. And he's like, all right. He's like, well, I'm looking to see if I can, you guys have anything for me. And basically sent him to the operator and told him to hang up on him because he didn't realize that K-Dog was Conan, because the guy couldn't be bothered to say, hey, this is fucking Charles, or hey, this is Conan. He decided to talk to a fucking executive of a multi-million-dollar company by calling himself K-Dog. And
Red Dog?
That's exactly why. The Bog Dog. That's exactly why Conan never returned to WWE.
What a shame.
Yeah. No. I thought the story was interesting. You can all fuck off. Last month at WWE Battleground, the momentous return of the Great Khali allowed WWE champion Jinder Mahal to defeat Randy Orton and survive the first Punjabi prison match in nearly a decade. This was not.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
This was not supposed to be a one and done, as WWE had plans on Khali wrestling in a tag team match at SummerSlam. Khali, however, was not medically cleared to take any bumps or wrestle, and WWE officials decided against using him further at this time. Had Khali been cleared to compete at SummerSlam, he would have teamed with Jinder Mahal against Randy Orton and another partner, John Cena versus Shinsuke Nakamura, to earn the opportunity to challenge WWE champion Mahal. Was then moved from the SummerSlam card to SmackDown Live last week, since the tag match had to be canceled. Following Khali's surprise appearance, he was listed as a current superstar on WWE.com. His profile was then moved to the alumni section, and a few days later, which seems to indicate that the WWE has no plans on using him sporadically.
Thank Christ.
So you would not be a fan of a return of the Great Khali?
I wasn't a fan of him the first time around.
I'd like to at least see him take like an RKO out of nowhere, just some closure to that story, because of, like, why put him on the show if you didn't know he was going to be cleared? It seems kind of stupid, because now Orton just looks like an idiot because he's just done getting retribution.
I would have loved to see him RKO his grandma.
There you go. That would have worked too. In addition to In addition to reports of Enzo Amore being kicked off a tour bus during the WWE's recent European tour, Sports Illustrated reported that there is heat on the 30-year-old for bringing, quote, a series of questionable guests backstage. Some WWE wrestlers are upset with Amore because his friends broke locker room etiquette by filming video and taking photos of them backstage. They feel Amore should know better. Sports Illustrated also said that Amore is venturing into the music business, which creates another conflict with WWE and could even land him on the list of future endeavored talent.
He's getting fired.
Dave Meltzer reported in the latest issue of the Wrestling Observer that Amore got kicked off the tour bus after being overheard talking negatively about the wrestling industry while bragging about how much money he is earning from the WWE. The tour bus incident came up on WWE Network's Bring It to the Table on Monday when JBL said, quote, the odds are completely against Enzo making it in WWE due to his heat with the wrestlers. Corey Graves also said on the show that he personally doesn't like Amore. He said that Amore behaves exactly like his television persona 24 hours a day, and since he sees him day after day, him being loud and bragging about who he's partied with in Los Angeles gets tiring. Graves, however, feels that Amore is valuable to WWE, noting that he is popular with the fans, sells a lot of merchandise, and does quite well in quarter-hour ratings. According to Sports Illustrated, Big Cass often stood up and protected Amore. However, Cass's promo during their breakup angle on Raw, where he expressed his frustration with him, was based on how people in the WWE perceive Amore. Do we really think Enzo Amore is long for this company at this point?
No.
Well, here's the thing, though. And to the point the article says, the guy is popular with the fans. And in an era where not many guys make the ratings go up, he seems to be doing that. And he seems to be selling merchandise, and he seems to have crowd support. All things that are in short supply. I don't know what you do with them honestly, to me, the best thing they could do at this point, because things aren't working, is somehow Enzo gets out of the shark cage and helps Cass win and either becomes Cass's manager or they go on as a heel team at this point, because I don't think the singles run is working for either one of them, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Smathers says when merch slows down, he's gone.
And we'll see.
If they stop putting out merch.
Unified GFW Knockouts champion Sienna took to Twitter on Monday night to call out WWE superstar Charlotte Flair for gimmick infringement. The GFW star posted side-by-side comparison photos of Charlotte and herself, claiming that Charlotte had stolen her feathery outfits, flashy makeup, and her usage of the pinkies up hand sign. Sienna also wrote, I ignored the feathers and the makeup, but the pinky, really, if you need anything else from me, let me know. So first off, Sienna, I'm not sure Charlotte even knows who you are. And I say that because let's keep in mind, Charlotte was not somebody that humped the indies for years. She basically got the golden ticket right into NXT. And I don't know that she pays any attention to anything that goes on outside of WWE. That's just a gut instinct. Second of all, those outfits were remarkably similar to those worn by Chyna and Melina before you were ever in the business. And third of all, Pinkies Up was going on in APW way before you ever a thing.
Favorite part about that is the fact that you went for Melina and Chyna. She's wearing Ric Flair's gear. That's Ric Flair's stuff. She stole Ric Flair's gimmick.
Ric Flair dressed like a peacock?
No, it's an updated. Yes. It's a female. I don't think he had the
female
peacock
version of it. He had some boas.
I don't think. No, you're thinking of Hogan. Hogan had boas.
Yeah.
Flair had the robes.
I guarantee you, Ric Flair had a boa.
I don't remember Ric Flair and a boa. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't remember it. We should ask the expert on Monday Nitro. He'd probably be able to tell us. Mm-hmm. Adam?
I haven't seen a boa yet. I'm only, 8 episodes deep. There were definitely robes with feathered collars. Maybe that's what you're thinking of.
8 episodes deep and still at less than an hour. Al Half sent words that former WWE Tough Enough winner Sarah Lee has returned to the ring to train after giving birth to daughter Piper back on May 1st of the year. Sarah's
there you go, fuckface.
Huh? That's not a boa. That's part of his robe.
That's what it looks like. All right, that's exactly what she's wearing.
Feathered collar.
So I called it something different. But
no, her feathers are all sticking up behind her like she's the fucking bird, dude. That's not even close to the same thing.
Smathers is on our side, Jason.
Yeah, Smathers nailed it. Anyway, where was I?
Sarah Lee.
Sarah Lee's WWE release was announced in October of 2016 on the same day that the baby with NXT superstar Wesley Blake was revealed. I didn't realize it was on the same day. That's kind of shitty. Sarah posted a photo to Instagram on Monday of a match that took place nearly 1 year ago and noted that she was still wrestling NXT matches because she, quote, didn't know she was pregnant. Lee is now working with I Believe in Wrestling's team Vision Dojo in Orlando. She will be debuting for the IBIW, which sounds like a root beer flavor, promotion when she is ready, but half noted that, quote, with the way she trained yesterday, it shouldn't be too long before the fans get to see her in action. So Troy and Adam, I got to ask, are you guys excited for the potential return to wrestling of Sarah Lee?
No.
Keeping in mind that nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee.
Except Sean just made that joke in the chat room.
Yeah.
I forgot about her.
Yeah, basically. I liked her on Tough Enough, but that's about it, really.
You liked her on Tough Enough? She was fucking awful on that show.
I didn't like a lot about Tough Enough.
She's too mousy to be like a legitimate threat to anybody.
Yeah. But she was apparently
looks
half
like
the locker room, so.
That is true. Well, I guess it's fucking Russian roulette on what that baby's going to be. But I mean, she looks like a Starbucks barista, so I don't see how how she could be taken serious when you put her up against Charlotte.
Yeah.
Oh god. Well, Charlotte probably doesn't know who she is either. We've noted that there is speculation on Becky Lynch possibly facing UFC Women's Featherweight Champion Chris Cyborg at SummerSlam after recent back and forth between the two on social media, which included a tweet from Cyborg to Triple H on the same weekend she won her title at UFC 214. The drama between the two continues with new tweets this week, with Chris Cyborg tweeting, SummerSlam at Triple H, you can't hide at Becky Lynch WWE forever. And Becky Lynch responding with, pipe down, nobody's hiding nothing, I'll be there, can't say the same for you. Troy, any chance this match happens at SummerSlam?
No.
Me neither. Okay. I don't necessarily rule out the idea of it happening somewhere down the road. I know Cyborg is not happy with the UFC and the way she's been utilized since she signed there. So I could see her taking a quick one-off payday with WWE when that contract's up. Problem is, I mean, SummerSlam's a week away. She would have had to have been training for an extended period of time to be able to pull off a credible match at this point. Though, to be fair, there is no spot right now for Becky Lynch. So maybe maybe they're keeping something warm for her. I don't know.
The problem is that Dana White is smart enough to realize that he's made a lot of these, booking decisions because these are long-term things for UFC. That's why we learn about matches that are going to happen, months in advance. He's not going to have one of his higher end women go on a show where she could potentially get her arm fucking broken by Becky.
It's really good when you make her sound like a prostitute.
I try.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. If she's planning on leaving UFC and Dana White has that inclination and you can make a percentage of a payday by allowing her to compete on that show, you do. Second off, you're going to want Vince to allow Brock Lesnar out of his deal to go fight John Jones at some point. There's got to be some quid pro quo there.
It's almost like we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, but I'm talking to somebody that actually understands MMA and knows the people I'm talking about, Adam.
Yeah. The other issue is... The other issue is Cyborg has not taken a bump. She has not run the ropes. She has not done a single thing to learn how to be a wrestler. And you cannot just run in there within 2 weeks and put on a good match.
Stephen Amell
So it's not happening. No, he didn't. Stephen Amell trained for months.
How do you know Chris Cyborg hasn't been training now? That's the thing. None of us know. She could have been training this whole time and we just don't know about it. Right?
I think somebody would have figured it out by now.
I don't know.
We know Ronda Rousey's training.
Yes, that came up after I wrote this, but she started training with the Brian Kendrick this week, or she's going to next week, I believe, something like that.
I thought it was the Brain.
Oh, nope, the Brian Kendrick. The Brian Kendrick.
Now, is he actually a robot?
Who?
This cyborg fella.
First, it's a woman. Second, no, because a cyborg is not a robot. A cyborg is a human with cybernetic enhancements, some parts. An
So she's
android,
related. She's related to Cesaro.
yes, an android would be an artificial human, but a cyborg is one that is originally a human.
Better than a Ryborg.
There's a lot of things better than a Ryborg.
Smathers on the side says WWE drug tests. Cyborg has no chance. And no, they do not drug test part-timers, as we learned with Brock Lesnar last year. And followed that up by saying Cyborg had a fight a month ago. Didn't she know it was about 2 weeks ago? And it was against Tanya Evinger, who looked like a goddamn soccer mom who had no business being in the octagon with Cyborg in that fight. She did take a hell of a beating now. I got to give her credit on that one. We noted last week that there have been talks of doing another superstar shakeup after the WWE SummerSlam pay-per-view. PWI Insider notes that the idea is to do 2 shakeups per year instead of just one major WWE draft. WWE had previously held a roster shakeup in April after WrestleMania 33 and could be looking to make it an annual thing after each of the 2 major pay-per-views.
I really prefer the lottery.
Yeah, I mean, the shakeup could be good if it was done better. It was really kind of done haphazardly and really poorly this time around. I think
Almost like they didn't know what they were doing. They hadn't had any plan going into it.
Almost as though AJ Styles thought he was going to Raw and bought all new red gear and made red T-shirts.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we talked about this last week, Troy, but some of the speculation has included that this superstar shakeup would include sending some talents back down to NXT where they can kind of be top of the card in NXT rather than sort of floundering around on the main roster. What would be your thoughts on something like that?
Make NXT a 2-hour show, give them a mid-card belt, and make it a third brand. And then
well, I mean, it's already a third
bunch
brand.
Of those guys over there. Yeah, but make it like a legit third brand. Because right now, yes, it's a third brand, but it's still looked at as developmental. Whereas you could be more, it could still be developmental, but you can turn around and be like, yeah, we're a 2-hour show. We've got these different title belts, stuff like that. We've got all these different people. Yeah, I think if you do that, then you're fine. I have no problem if you're going to turn around and and like send Kurt Hawkins down or something like that to be a jobber. My problem is if you're going to send a guy like like Tyler Breeze or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I think Dillinger would be at the top of the list, I'd imagine.
But he just came up.
I know, but they've already got nothing for him. And he's floundering in tag matches, against makeshift tag team matches against the Usos at this point.
Yeah, and I agree with Smathers on the side there. NXT is where Enzo should go, because
I think 205 Live.
205 Live doesn't solve his backstage issues.
Or should I say 205 Leave?
Yes. No, if I think if you send him back down to NXT when you've got different guys down there who can kind of rein him in again, because he was fine when he was down there because he had different guys. I mean, Dusty isn't live anymore, but William Regal can keep him in line and stuff like that. I think right now he's got a little too much freedom and maybe he's got a little bit too much of a big head to himself.
So William Regal's going to keep him in line and Triple H and Vince can't?
I think he can hide a little bit more on the main roster. I don't think you can hide as much in the Performance Center.
Now, we know that Enzo is close backstage with Kevin Owens, and it seems like a lot of this problem started in terms of at least us hearing about it, started after Kevin Owens got moved to SmackDown, and I sort of wonder if maybe Kevin Owens was the guy going, hey, shut your fucking mouth, dude. Keep your shit together.
I would assume so.
Being a well-traveled veteran, Cass is not necessarily like that. Doesn't have that pedigree on the indies that Kevin Owens has. So I'm wondering if maybe that had something to do with it.
Probably. And, you look at it as well. I mean, I think that's why Sami Zayn went over to SmackDown with Kevin, because most people can't stand Sami Zayn either. So and I think that I think he probably is a lot of, kind of intermediate between people on things like that.
And Sammy was on the Sam Roberts podcast last week, and it's sort of an interesting conversation because at one point they were talking about this character that they've sort of given him, and he said, listen, yes, it's based a lot on me and how I am, and I have a very stream of consciousness kind of thing I do when I talk and I get excited about things. And he's like, but the thing is you can present it in a way where it's endearing rather than presenting it in a way where it's annoying. And I thought that was actually a good point that I hadn't even thought about, that they're intentionally booking him. You could take that same gimmick and make it something that gets him over, and instead they're using it as a way to bury him. He said something as simple as a guy being like, hey, agreeing with me when I go on one of those rants rather than rolling his eyes.
Or disappearing.
Yeah, can make all the difference in the world.
Sure.
And I believe Troy has some news too he'd like to add at the end of the news section here.
Oh yeah, I do. So a month ago, Kathy Kelly debuted a new YouTube show called NXT Insider.
Speaking of Insider, Finn Balor is.
Yeah. It just got canceled. It's gone. So, but we do have another announced match for TakeOver Brooklyn 3. It is Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas.
Yeah, we've known about that for a while.
Oh, I just got the notes that it was going.
It just went live tonight, but they announced it at the taping, so it kind of made its way around the internet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Some of us don't read spoilers.
Well, see, there you go.
And wasn't there something to do with a certain club you wanted to mention too, Troy?
Oh, hold on a second.
We touched about it briefly a few minutes ago.
Hold on.
Holding.
CM Punk Watch 2017. The Bullet Club have been putting out a couple of pictures mocking up what CM Punk's shirts would look like if he joined the Bullet Club. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. He's a quitter. He quits. He's not coming back. Get over it.
And that's going to do it for this edition of the news, which leads us to our next segment, a very sad segment for the rundown. As Troy and I will take a step back and allow the originator of the rundown, the founding father, if you will, Adam, to say his goodbye to the show he created. Adam, the floor is yours.
Can I? This is when I get to play the voicemails of the people saying nice things about me, except there's only 3. But I'll take it. Sappy piano music. Is
do you want to start with the voicemails and then do your spiel?
Sure.
Okay.
That's what I was going to do.
All right, I'll turn off this.
Okay, turn off the sappy piano music.
Hello, Adam. It's your grandmother, dear. Such a nice young man. Adam, I received a telegraph last week informing me that this may very well be the last time that you broadcast your computed radio show, so I had to call in to provide my well wishes. Also, now that you have more free time, perhaps you can come visit. It's been so long. The local newsboy informs me that you've been doing these shenanigans for 6 years now. 6 whole years. That's a long time for you, but really, that's just a drop in the bucket for me. Heck, when I was your age, we were fighting the Krauts for 6 years. You've also been productive over that time by speaking queef jokes into a microphone. Your grandfather would have been so proud. But anyway, I just called to say congrats.
Oh. She should probably invest in a low-flow toilet. That was a very loud one.
Yes.
Also, I'm glad she got over the cold she had.
Thank you, Grandma.
Hold on. Before you go to the next one,
Okay.
Stop it for a second.
There we go.
Before you leave,
That one made me cry a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
before you leave, can we officially confirm, with this extra free time, you will go visit your grandmother?
Oh no, she's so far away.
Dude, you said she's like 2 blocks away.
I know, but there's such traffic.
You could walk.
I don't know.
This is why people hate you.
Hello, this is 1996 Mankind calling into the rundown to wish Adam a fond farewell. Personally, I've never listened to the show, but my pet rat George was quite insistent that I call in to say goodbye. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go tear out large clumps of my own hair. What the? Have a nice day.
Was he using "Have a Nice Day" in 1996? I don't know.
I don't know,
so-
but yeah.
He was one of the most annoying characters on one of the first WB games because every time you hit him, he squealed.
Smathers on the side, real quick, says, I was thinking about a voicemail, but the last time I was here, Adam made another child molester joke. Adam will be making Asian snuff films with his free time. So apparently Smathers didn't take too kindly and is not sad to see you go, Adam.
Well, you know, at least this time he didn't say that you hated Asians because you have to actually fuck them before you kill them to make it a snuff film. So
Is that the case? I thought snuff mill, you just videotape yourself killing someone.
I don't know. Let me look into it.
Next time on the rundown.
Google how to make a snuff film and let us know.
One more.
Hey boys, it's Chef from the Sports Den.
Chef.
Just wanted to call in this week and wish Adam good luck in whatever his next venture is. I don't know if he'll be back on the show, but if he doesn't, just wanted to wish him luck. Thanks for having me on when you did, and I look forward to talking to you guys again. Take care.
Well, thank you, Chef.
Well, now that you're gone, he might actually come back again. So
See, you yelled at me for calling you kind of a dick in the Facebook message, and yet I've been reading your lower third this entire show.
what?
For those of you listening at home, it says they're keeping the good one. Or sorry, the good one is staying.
How do you know that is in any way related to you? See, if you feel like that's related to you, I think that says more about you than it does about me. That could be about anything.
We've
Sounds like you got
established
some-
that I have no self-esteem. So
Yeah, sounds like you got some issues there, bro.
Yeah. I think perhaps in your spare time you should talk to somebody or fucking get a hug or something. I don't know.
Talk to that guy that helped out Team Hell No.
There you
go.
go. We'll call Dr. Shelby.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a free weeknight now. So 6 years. It was actually, I got the notification in my email this week that 6 years ago we put the show up on Podomatic after doing it for about half a year before that. So we started in February of 2011 with the thought of, hey, we talk about this shit anyways. Maybe other people want to listen. And like I said in the Facebook post, this show has created friendships. It's destroyed friendships. It's done all kinds of things except make me money, but that's okay because I had a blast. I just need to step away for a while.
For a month.
And I might be back. I might not. Nitromania will continue. The network will continue. Everything was, hey, maybe Making the Grade will come back. We'll see what happens. But I do. I said it in the Facebook post. I'll say it here. I want to thank everyone who has been even slightly involved in this show for the past 6.5 years. Even Malcolm and Froda. As a name you haven't heard on the show in a while. I understand that. But
What about Josh?
it's
No,
really
fuck Josh. That
That's
fucker
why
said
we-
I was monotone. I'm not fucking monotone. He's the guy that everyone fucking voted off the show.
Maybe you should just go kill yourself.
Yeah, maybe. Speaking of, hey, I didn't know you had dogs.
What?
Are they in the enclosed pool area?
I mean that's the text I just got from you.
I have magic fingers. Yes, but everyone who's ever been in the chat room, anyone who's ever commented on the YouTube pages, or Anybody who back in the way beginning, before we discovered what Podomatic was on the list to receive the send space links to manually download the episode each week. Anyone who has even just remotely been a part of this, I want to say thank you for allowing me to just shoot the shit with my friends for the last 6.5 years. I have faith that the two of you won't destroy the show completely.
No, that's misguided.
Yeah, you definitely should not have faith in that.
I look forward to next week's 4.5-hour episode about football and the UFC. And
I mean,
probably
if there's even going to be an episode next week, we haven't locked down any plans.
And soon enough, rundown.podomatic.com will just link to the Nitromania podcast. So look forward to that in the future, folks. Thank you and good night. I got to.
All right, well, before we sign off, Adam, allow me to say it was a little over a year ago at an APW show that I was telling you about why you were so wrong on shit you were saying on the podcast. And you said, listen, motherfucker, if you got a problem, get headphones and a microphone and fucking come on the show and fucking talk about it. I'm like, all right, sure. And through multiple technical issues and all sorts of things, I've had a blast doing this just about every week. I keep coming back. Most of that has been due to just getting to hang out and talk wrestling for a couple hours a week, and feel like a part of a team. And I think I got to introduce to Troy and Raccoon Reigns and Andy and a bunch of other people, and I've enjoyed myself greatly, and that's all due to you, and I do appreciate that, and I thank you for that. And allow me to say, what kind of an asshole is Sal? 600 fucking episodes with voicemails. The last one, nothing. Doesn't come on, doesn't leave a voicemail even to wish you good luck. I mean,
I gotta work late at Target. I might be able to show up in the middle.
Let's
I gotta produce my own podcast.
Sort of just shitty on his part, and Andy, nothing from Andy either, not even a fucking voicemail. Like I feel like you can look at the screen and see the people who really care about you, Adam. and just because since the day I came on this show, I have promised it from day fucking one that I was on this show. I feel like this is my last chance. And I hate to be a liar and not do it. So, we're going full fucking Monty on this episode of the Rundown.
Oh, boy. we lost those few viewers we actually had.
For those of you listening at home, Jason just took his shirt off.
Right.
I haven't been wearing pants the whole time. So
Don't need a visual.
Drop something back here. Hold on.
Don't need a visual on that.
Thank you for that.
Troy has already stated he's not wearing pants this evening. So
yeah, I mean, I never do though. So if Jason is done, meat on the table, yeah, that's what you are. Join me in telling Adam au revoir.
Wow.
I want to thank you for renewing my passion for this fucked up, stupid business that we have. And for giving me a chance to come on here, for inspiring me to start my own podcast, which I also do not get paid for. Which in about a month we'll be coming back right around Halloween time with some more shit. I'll see you in a month, because I don't think it can stay away that long. But I hope that the time off will get you rejuvenated. It helped me, although I don't sleep anymore because I have a child. So hey, don't make any more kids. It's a bad choice.
That's the plan.
That's a bad plan. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much. And we're gonna do the best we can to continue the show and keep it warm for you till you get back.
And truth be told, as you leave and we make the show way more awesome, and we make it so that you desperately want a piece of what we're putting together, the audio gold we're throwing in people's ear holes every single week.
That's right.
We may consider letting you back at some point. It's not a guarantee.
All right.
Not at all.
But yes, folks, it is true. You have me to blame for the Slasher Sanitarium. You have me to blame for Shadowway. Basically, the entire Questionable Endeavor Network is my fault.
They definitely have you to blame for the sit down, because
I will gladly
if
take.
you hadn't completely bombed that first interview with Avery,
absolutely,
the sit down would probably
why
not
do you
exist.
think? Why do you think I wanted someone else there?
Although after I release this next episode, the sit down may not exist anymore.
That's true.
Stay tuned for that one, ladies and gentlemen. I had quite the interesting conversation last night.
But in that same vein, without Troy, there would be no rundown right now. So I thank you for that.
Yeah, I do what I can.
It's co-masturbation going on.
All right. I'm not sure what's going on over there.
Oh, yes, and I guess we should take this opportunity to announce that Troy and I have decided that because Adam sort of unilaterally decided we were going to move the show, for our convenience, Troy and I have decided we are actually moving back to Thursday nights. It just works out better for both of us. And better for the sit down as Tuesday and Thursday are often training nights and hard to get some of these guys on the show those nights. So Wednesday nights are no more. We will be back next week to Thursday nights live on YouTube.
Yes, as Kogo Sean says on the side, the Raw Attitude podcast is my fault as well. And I will gladly take credit for all of these things.
And a special fuck off to Mike Smathers. No range. Honestly, I'll fucking show you my range. You're fixing to get this 2-inch dick down your throat. All right. So with that,
that does it for the rundown.
And for the record, that's the new Jacob. Good night and good luck.
For Wednesday, August 9th, 2017, 495 days since Asuka won the NXT Women's Championship.
And how many days since your first episode of the rundown? That would have been a good number to come up with.
Quick, somebody Google how many days since February 11th, 2011. I think it was the 11th. It might have been the 9th. I'm not sure. For a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial, go to audibletrial.com/rundown. Let's pimp some shows. Troy, you got something.
Wow. Smathers with the dick comment of the night. Look at that. All right. Man. Quick, Adam, make a child molester joke.
That would be 2,371 days since February 11th, 2011.
If that was the date that we started, I'm not sure. It was definitely February. I know that much.
About 2,000 days.
Coco Sean says 2,371 is the amount of days.
Yeah, fuck you. I beat you to it, bitch.
That's also the number of days that Smathers' girlfriend's been alive. So,
shots fired on his way out the door.
Nice. Bitch.
Gonna mention Google Plus one more time, only to piss off Jason.
That's right. You never sent us your actual plugs, so I guess we can just delete that file and make our own ending of the show from now on.
There you go.
Sweet.
I wrote stuff in the Google thing.
Yeah, but you didn't write your normal stuff like visit audibletrial.com/rundown podcast and get a free audiobook with your purchase of snuff film.
Do you just shut up and talk about Bruce City Wrestling?
There's something before mine.
Nope.
Yeah. UFO Wrestling is before mine.
Well, in the list, but date-wise.
Oh, okay.
First.
BCW Summer Sizzle is August 18th at the Columbus Club in West Allis. Head to BruceCityWrestling1.com.
Just a show called Summer Sizzle.
What?
I feel like there was just a show called Summer Sizzle.
Okay.
Like last Saturday in Clinton, Mass.
Oh, well, guess what?
Yeah.
Jason was there.
Everyone borrows from everyone else. Anyways, Go to BruceCityWrestling1.com to save some money on tickets or get them at the door. There'll be tickets available. Sierra will take on Evil Deaths again, but this time special referee Frankie DeFalco will be there.
Is that like Seth Rollins borrowed from Kenny Omega?
Yes. The Heathens, the Beer City Bruiser and Tokyo Monster Kahagas take on
Kahangas.
Max Holiday and Russ. Kahangas take on Max Holiday and Russ Jones. And at a rematch from May's BCW Retribution, AIWF Women's Champion Stacey Shadows takes on Lena D'Oro. The card is still subject to change, and more matches will be added. But next week, hopefully they'll update it enough that I can get a couple more on there. But yeah, head on over to BruceCityWrestling1.com. Get more information on that.
UFO Wrestling returns with Big Bang 2017 to the Malden Irish American Club on Wednesday night, August 23rd. Doors will open at 7 p.m. for a special meet and greet. Tickets are $12 for general admission. Reserved front row seats are available on advanced purchases only. All other seats are first come, first serve, and this card is pretty good. UFO Heavyweight Wrestling Championship are going to be defended as the Kingpin, Brian Malonis, looks to make it 45 years with that belt when he takes on the Dirty Daddy Chris Dickinson. UFO Tag Team titles on the line as Bo Douglas and Josh Briggs defend against the Cool People. Teddy Goods is going to take on Ilya Markopoulos, and one I'm really looking forward to seeing. The selfie-made man, Vern Vitale, going to take on Impact Wrestling star Robbie E. In an intergender match, we're going to have Davey Ann taking on Josh Briggs, who is pulling double duty that night. We're also going to have on the card Furio Falcone, Aaron Amadeus, Benny Jux, and much, much more. So once again, go to UFO Wrestling on Facebook for more information.
And then the following Saturday at the Salisbury Boys and Girls Club,
Atlantic Pro Wrestling returns to action. We're still waiting on confirmation of a card. At the moment, we don't have the final paperwork done, but I can give you some interesting news as making her return to Atlantic Pro Wrestling, former APW Women's Champion, Mistress Belmont will be in the house.
Ooh.
And I'm very pleased, very proud to welcome her back to the APW family. We've missed her, and we're going to be very happy to have her back. We're also going to have the Juggernaut John Poe, the New England champion Xavier Bell in the house, the Unequaled One Todd Sopel, the Hampton Beach Bad Boy Hunter Ward, the Dynasty Bo Douglas makes his APW return. He's just making returns and appearances everywhere these days.
He has been in APW for a while.
Yeah, so we have a stacked card. We're looking forward, of course. Joe Moakley going to be there. Performing some nefarious means or something along those lines. And so that's going to do it for this edition of the Rundown.
Yeah. Just showed up.
I know.
I like that I can hear Jason talking.
Yeah, I don't think your headphones are plugged in, Sal.
They're plugged in.
I don't think so.
Turn off the YouTube page.
Oh, the YouTube page is on. Sorry. What's up, Rundown?
Honest to God.
Hey, I said I was going to make it late. You guys usually go to midnight, so I figured you'd still be talking about SummerSlam or something.
We're not going to midnight.
Wasn't it just like 9 o'clock 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, probably. Liberty States Wrestling presents Heard You Missed Us. We're back. Our season premiere live from the John MacArthur Elementary School in Peabody, Mass. on Saturday night, September 9th. So far, we have Christian Casanova defending his Liberty States Heavyweight Championship against Dynamite Danny Miles, and Todd Sopel defending the No Limits Championship.
Oh,
yeah! Don't talk about that.
Card subject to change.
What just happened? I don't know what just happened.
You have not been on Facebook last day, apparently.
Apparently not. Also, apparently Josh Briggs versus Xavier Bell. Something's happened.
No, Todd
I'll probably have to edit. ElkMania presents ElkMania 5, Saturday, September 23rd at the Beverly Salem Elks Lodge in Beverly, Mass. Jason's not going to yell at me.
What was up?
ElkMania.
What?
Fuck you. And Lucky Pro Wrestling
presents... You mean Elks on Fire.
Right. That's exactly what I was looking for.
Hey, who won the trivia game?
Jason won a tiebreaker.
Jason won. Jason. Oh my God.
Yeah, but it was a tiebreaker at least this time, and not like a 0-0 tiebreaker.
On the plus side, The title is out of abeyance, and it's not going to end up in Adam's refrigerator.
Damn it! I was hoping he was going to do the and then just run away with it.
All right. Lucky Pro Wrestling presents Fall Frenzy on Saturday, October 14th at the Elks Hall,
Get
Clinton,
lucky.
Massachusetts. Already announced. The LPW tag team titles will be on the line in a last team standing match. The Aristocrats defending against the Heavy Hitters. If the Heavy Hitters do not win that contest, they will never get another shot at the LPW tag team championships. And also the return of fan favorite, the Halloween Battle Royal. So be on the lookout for that for Saturday, October 14th in Clinton, Massachusetts.
And just as a reminder to the good folks at ElkMania, Lucky Pro Wrestling, and Liberty States, with Adam leaving the show, you're going to have to book me if you want your plugs to continue to appear on the rundown.
Well, that's a douche move.
I'm a douche. Remember, I'm sort of a dick. Remember?
Sort of a dick.
Oh, he's still not letting that one go, is he?
Follow us on Twitter at Rundown
I never let my
Podcast.
dick go, Sal.
Got it.
Send an email to rundownwrestling@gmail.com. Leave a voicemail on the hotline, 617-863-6967. That's 61 Rundown 7. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/rundown wrestling. Watch archived episodes at youtube.com/rundown podcast. Circle me on Google Plus at google.com/plus Adam Rundown host.
Is the voicemail still going to be a thing? Going
Depends.
We haven't even picked our new theme song yet, but that shit is definitely changing, ladies and gentlemen. So tune in next week as we debut a new theme song on the rundown.
Also, is it next week? Because Troy, I thought you said you were off to the end of the month.
Jesus Christ, Sal! If you would pay attention to the show instead of just showing up at the fucking last 5 minutes, you would know everything that's going on.
I showed up.
Yes,
all right?
there's a goddamn show next week. We're moving back to Thursday. There's a new theme song. Adam's fucking leaving. We've already said our goodbyes. Jesus Christ!
But Troy had said he was off until the end of the month.
You haven't even said goodbye to the guy.
Adam, you're going to be missed. Sorely missed.
That was it? You fucking came on for that? No sappy, no tears, no nothing?
No, I messaged him privately. He knows how I feel.
Came on the show to go, peace.
Well, I'd love to talk about wrestling, but you're all done talking about wrestling, so.
Well, that's because we were here when the fucking show started, pal.
Such anger.
Right?
To make a donation of the monetary variety, go to paypal.me/rundownwrestling.
Like that was going to happen anyway.
Check out all the shows on the Questionable Endeavor Network at questendnetwork.com.
Isn't Taz supposed to be the angry one?
Go to questendnetwork.com/discord to check out the Discord channel. Check out our friends Brian Malonis and Mike Crockett on the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing at facebook.com/thewpan. Search for us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Podbean, or Podomatic under the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. If you subscribe, you get the podcast over to you absolutely free each and every week, $0, 0 cents. Plus, our extra shows, you get the sit down, you get the Nitromania. Eventually, NXT Revisited will come back. Someday there'll be something called Glow Stick. You don't know. Could be anything. You don't know.
You get the sit down for as long as I'm allowed to have it on there.
Give it a week. It's trials. If you cannot afford a monetary donation, leave a 5-star review on iTunes because that helps other people find us. If you leave a text review, they might read your name in your review at the end of a future episode.
By the way, I'm never reading this whole thing that you're doing. That's never going to happen.
Yeah, the show closings are going to be a lot faster going forward.
I figured as much. Thanks to everyone for listening. For the last 6.5 years. Thanks to everyone in the chat room. We got Sean, we got Lisa, we got Smathers, we got Troy's in there.
Smathers says, Sal, Adam will send you a self-shot Asian snuff film as a goodbye.
Aw, how nice. Do all the listeners get that?
Dude, seriously, think about this, right? You have to now go through and export fucking audio for this 30 seconds you've been on the fucking show.
I know.
You just created a lot of work for very little return. I'm just saying.
What are you going to do?
Also, you could come on and go later.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on 3.5 times.
It was 4, all right? So there.
I call this a halftime.
No. 4 before this one.
Oh, this is at best a quarter.
I was gonna say this is like a third. Not even.
So 4 1/10 time. Gotcha.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Adam. All joking aside, we're going to miss you until you decide you want to come back in a week because we're destroying your show and your legacy.
Thank you, Troy.
Thank you.
I thought you were just drug. It's going to be really anticlimactic.
This is a preview of the new rundown. It's going to be a very short show.
No, it's going to be an hour and a half of us just going, yeah.
Shrug.
That does it for the rundown.
Jacob, good night and good luck. Or
Fandango, fuck yourself. Take care, bulbous faces.
We can assure you of one thing going forward, folks. This is the last time you will hear a Jacob good night and good luck on this show. It's the last time you'll hear a reference to Google Plus. No, because once he comes back and tries to get back on our show, we're not letting him fucking do that shit anymore.
I gotta get the classics in.
Oh, we're changing all the fucking passwords tomorrow.
That I still need to post shit.
I was gonna say, there's still Nitromania, right?
You can send
still say
Troy
good night, good luck on that.
I'll post that. You can go ahead and send it to me. You could probably send it to me in an email because it's like 2.5 megabytes. So
actually, just for the record, we're you don't have to be on the show anymore, but we're still sending you the shit to edit every Wednesday night.
So, right. Guess who got a new title?
It's never going up.
It's a promotion.
Thanks to Ray Williams for the logo.
You're now senior editor of the podcast.
Senior editor.
Thanks. To I Fight Dragons at ifightdragons.com for apparently the last time for the theme song.
Yeah, fuck you, I Fight Dragons.
Next week,
stealing your shit from Game of Thrones.
I don't even.
Hey, is he co-ghost Adam going forward?
Ooh,
no.
Only if we kill him. Who's got a video camera?
I'm assuming that's how he's leaving. That's what I showed up for, man.
After
public burning at the stake.
After the show, it's the after party, and after the party, it's Adam's dead body.
Jacob, good night and good luck. Bree, Zong, go fuck yourself.
Which one of us is that directed at? Just out of curiosity.
Gee, I wonder.
Probably.
Yeah, probably you.
Oh,
I was gonna say me.
No, you weren't on here.
You don't even have a lower third. You're so unprofessional. That shit won't fly in the new regime.
It's true.
Got it.
Next episode, under new management.
Yeah.
Under new management, under construction.
Go Sean on the side. It says, wait, don't end yet. Raccoon Reigns may join for 25 seconds just to complicate the audio process.
Just to make it hard on Adam.
Wouldn't be the first time.
One last time.
Wait, so it wouldn't be the first time that Raccoon Reigns has made it hard on you?
Ooh.
And it won't be the last.
He made it hard on your suit. I saw that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You ever get that suit back?
Thankfully, I did. There was extensive.
Why don't you thank the good folks who got you your
There was
suit back,
extensive dry cleaning.
Yeah. I thought that suit was gone.
So did Adam.
Yeah.
He was so traumatized about it, he decided to leave his own show.
Are we still recording?
Yes.
Because you fuckers won't shut up for the final time. Take care, Bulby Faces.
See you next Thursday.
Coming soon, Sports Ball.
When Sal shows up.
Hey, I've showed up, man. If I didn't show up, you would have been like, you said you were going to show up.
I already said that, actually. I said that before you got on.
Of course you fucking did.
Yeah.
It's sort of difficult. It's sort of difficult to want to make a sports ball podcast when I had to pull your teeth to try to get you to come on before the draft to do like a draft preview. So,
it's true.
Are we still recording?
No.
Oh, I stopped.
Okay. Is that how I can treat you better?
My thing with the Sports Ball podcast was whose account was it going to go on? Because I don't think wrestling fans particularly
You're making
love
your own,
sports.
motherfucker. It's time for you to get a Podomatic account.
That's for me to worry about.
I feel like the Sports Ball podcast would just be like Troy and I making Sal cry every week, though.
It's going to be the
Pretty
third
much.
rebirth of the Pen 15 Club.
Like as we explain to him why the NBA draft is rigged, and
And yet the Celtics got the number 1 overall pick, which
Did-
both
did-
of you
did-
said was
did-
not
did-
going to happen.
did they make the number 1 overall pick, Sal?
Mm-mm.
No, they traded it
Oh, really? To who?
to
To a
Philly.
to a team that now went from having no interest to having a lot of interest.
Weird. Didn't both of you say it was going to be the Lakers?
Funny how that happened. Oh, what pick did they get?
Number 2.
Did they get
They got the kid from LA.
Yeah, didn't they get the guy that they were going to pick at number 1? If they would have got the number
They
1,
wouldn't have taken long.
Just out of curiosity, if they hadn't gotten
they
that
would have.
first, and if they hadn't gotten that number 1 or number 2 pick, what would have happened to that pick again? Just
They would have lost it, right?
to who?
Philly
Who ended up with what pick?
ended up with the number 1 pick.
Do you see? Do you sense what's going on here?
But the Celtics won the lottery, man. They traded the pick. That's great. That's the Sixers' fault, really.
No, Sal. The Celtics won the pick because if the Celtics hadn't won the pick, then the Lakers wouldn't have gotten 2 because Philly. It ended up exactly the way the NBA wanted it. Philly and the Lakers got the top 2 picks.
That's fine.
All right, that's a little too loud.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry.
It's okay. We forgive you.
So, Adam, where does your sabbatical take you? Are you going to go journey across the Asian mountains?
He's not doing anything Asian.
Hey,
You wanna
maybe
eat
that's
Asian
his,
food.
maybe that's part of his sabbatical, all right? Maybe he's going to find his inner Asian.
Finally be able to fall asleep during Raw and not worry about having missed anything.
His inner Dr. Jekyll. So this whole fucking thing is so you don't have to watch wrestling on TV?
No, that's not it at all.
That's how bad Raw has become. He's just like, I can't anymore, guys. I just fucking can't.
I hate to break it to you, but I'm not going to start watching wrestling on TV. So
Yeah. And you know what? I've been feeling that because I didn't even finish Raw this week. I watched SmackDown, but I only made it about halfway through Raw before I fell asleep.
Well, my softball games are on Monday nights now, so I don't watch. I fast forward through a lot of stuff.
that's
You
what
got
YouTube's
it,
for.
man.
Next week I have a 9:15 game, so I may not watch it all.
Oh.
Thanks to fucking rainouts.
How
Sal, I
long is-
assume that your audio is already exported and sent over to Adam.
No, I didn't even do it yet. I'll do it now.
Well, Sal doesn't do the noise reduction. He just sends Adam the file, and Adam does all the work for him. Which is
I
another
see.
thing that's going to fucking change going forward.
Well, I don't know how to do any of that stuff, man.
Well, that's because we're not going to
I
coddle
might-
you like Adam does. We're going to teach you how to do it.
That's fine.
You might want to watch
Step
out because
one: turn off the YouTube broadcast when you come on the show. Although
gonna
that
add sound
explains
effects to
why I
Sal's
kept
audio.
last time Sal was on. I kept hearing our fucking voices in the background. That must have been what was happening then too. Although I'm dying to go back now and see if Sal is the heavy breather because I think he is.
I'm not though, because it happened the week before I was on.
No, because whenever last time you were on, like I was talking and I could hear it, so it wasn't me. But then when you would talk, I wouldn't hear it. Yeah, I gotta
Hello,
figure out.
YouTube. Welcome to the Rundown After Dark,
This is where we all make fun of everybody.
where there is a 100% chance that I'm going to share my screen and there's going to be a penis on it.
I have my finger on the stop broadcast button just in case.
Oh, but here's the issue.
Oh,
I
fuck.
can log in too. Excuse me, I got to go check my Powerball ticket.
Spoiler alert: you did not win.
If he did, he ain't gonna be in the podcast next week.
It's true too.
On that bit of mystery. Goodbye, everyone.
Oh, he's already out, just running away. He's just like, ah.